I'm getting jiggy with it, smoking on that George Bush. Step. A two-step, a two-step. Now go to two-step, now go to two-step, now go to two-step, now go to two-step. Now get jiggy with it, now get jiggy with it, now get jiggy with it, now get jiggy with it. Now go to two-step, two-step, that can't two-step, slide that two-step. Watch me get jiggy with it, watch me get jiggy with it, watch me get jiggy with it, watch me get jiggy with it.
She moves her body like a cyclone, and she makes me wanna do it all night long. Going hard when they turn the spotlights on, because she moves her body like a cyclone, just like a cyclone. She moves her body like a cyclone, and she makes me wanna do it all night long. Going hard when they turn the spotlights on, because she moves her body like a cyclone, a mighty cyclone.
Now look at that dumper on the back of that bumper. She ain't even playing when she shaking that rumper. And oh, you ain't know, she get lower than a muffler. Either with a girlfriend, show stopping with a hustler.
The way she move her body, she might see the Maserati. She wanna put it on me, trying to show me her tsunami. She make it hard to copy, always tight and never sloppy. And got her entourage and her own paparazzi.
Now that she go again, riding through the stormy weather. You better button up if you wanna go get her. Cause it is what it is, everybody wanna love her.
But when she pop it, boy, you better run for cover.
She moves her body like a cyclone, and she makes me wanna do it all night long. Going hard when they turn the spotlights on, because she moves her body like a cyclone, just like a cyclone. She moves her body like a cyclone, and she makes me wanna do it all night long. Going hard when they turn the spotlights on, because she moves her body like a cyclone, a mighty cyclone.
Shake that left it, tap it, that left it, tap it. Shake that left it, tap it, that left it, tap it. Girl, shake that left it, tap it, that left it, tap it, that left it, tap it, that left it. I'm looking for Mrs. Bubblegum, I'm Mr. Chico Stick. I wanna dun-dun-dun, oh, cause you so thick. Girls call me Jolly Rancher, oh, cause I stay so you can a long time. Oh my God, girl, this ain't a dance floor, this a candy store. And I'm really geeked up, and I got more trouble. I pop, I roll, it's soft. I know it's the summertime, but your left and tap it got me full. Get loose, get low, don't be shy. I'm playful. I know you wanna ride, you a star, and it shows. What's happening and what's up, let's go, let's go, let's go. Girl, shake that left and tap it, that left and tap it. Shake that left and tap it, that left and tap it. Girl, shake that left and tap it, that left and tap it, that left and tap it, that left and tap it. Girl, shake that left and tap it, that left and tap it. Shake that left and tap it, that left and tap it. Girl, shake that left and tap it, that left and tap it.
Rockstar lifestyle, might don't make it. Living life, everyday click, waste. Sipping on purple stuff, rolling up stanky. Wake up in the morning, 10 o'clock drink. Party, 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 let's all get wasted. Shake it for me, baby girl, do it, wasted. I'm so wasted, she's so wasted. Tell the bartender, send me 20 more cases. Shaking like Whitney, geeking like Britney. Gucci no hippie, but it's like Jimmy. Extra poppers, geeked up crazy. Whole click rolling, everyone's wasted. Paper codeine, Sprite, pink, don't waste it. Mix up grandma, drunk it, then taste it. Down grandma, sipping syrup, leaning wasted. Walking around, dope, twisting her finger. Homegirl slipped up, drunk, got wasted. Now she backstage and she tryna get famous. Leave me up the drinky, Gucci man shake. Club night, damn right, Gucci man wasted. Rockstar lifestyle, might don't make it. Living life, everyday click, wasted. Sipping on purple stuff, rolling up stanky. Wake up in the morning, 10 o'clock drink. Party, 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 let's all get wasted. Shake it for me, baby girl, do it, wasted. I'm so wasted, she's so wasted. Tell the bartender, send me 20 more cases.
On red tight. Hey, can I please talk to my busted babies real quick on me? Let me bring you in my world. Let you know what I call the busted baby.
She got me speeding in the fast lane, pedal to
Yeah, good morning, it's Uncle Lou here. That's right, it is me, Uncle Lou, live on LouTube on a Tuesday night. Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show. How's everybody doing? We'll get the show started in a few minutes.
It'll be you. Your lips will make you so cute. Love when you poke your mouth out when you're mad too. Say your nimble in my phone under the lip. Like your sex, but more in love with what you do. Turn me on how you stab me when we're through. When you get to me, I don't want to turn you loose. Scared to moan, Ryan, it's all I can say is ooh. My favorite panties are yours, the ones that see through. One with the pink trim on them and they light blue. Speaking for the goons, thank God for making you. Bust it, baby, is what I call you.
She got me speeding in the fast lane, pedal to the floor, man. Tryna get back to her love. Best believe she got that good thing. She my little hood thing. Ask around, they know us. They know that's mine. Baby, everybody know that's mine. Baby,
Come on, man. Man, I gave Brent Pry the benefit of the doubt last year. I was all over Virginia Tech last offseason. They made me look like an idiot. They took a shit on their own foot. He's got to win me back over now. I mean, this is Uncle Lou After Dark. Should I do it? Should I do it?
Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me.
Should I do it? Should I do it? I don't know. I don't know. Should I do it?
Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me.
Before I came up in the game, nobody showed me love. They see me in the club and used to treat me like a a scrub. They wouldn't holler cause my dollars wasn't swollen up. I bet they changed their mind when them 84s come rolling up. They see that I'm a star, now they wanna sit in my car. Now they wanna count my G's.
Y'all want me to do it?
Now they used to love to diss me. Now they rush to hug and kiss me. Now
Hit that thumbs up if you want me to do it.
how they miss me now. 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low, cause Mike Jones about to blow. Before the ice was in my grill, before I got my major deal, these girls didn't give a damn if I was here. Shit, I said before the ice was in my grill, before I got my major deal, these girls didn't give a damn if I was here. Shit, I said before the ice was in my grill, before I got my major deal, these girls didn't give a damn if I was here. Shit, because
Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all know me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all know me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all know me.
Y'all want me to do it, don't you?
Now I'm hot, they all know me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all know me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all know me.
Hit the thumbs up if you want me to do it.
This is why I'm hot. 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 I'm hot cause I'm fly. You ain't cause you not. This is why I'm hot. I'm hot cause I'm fly. You ain't cause you not.
Oh, change the music, woo. Oh, change the music, woo.
Don't saying nothing on the track. I represent New York. I got it on my back. Niggas say that we lost it, so I'ma bring it back. I love the dirty, cause niggas show me love. The ladies start to.
All right, come on, hit it. 30 thumbs up and I'll do it. 30 thumbs up. Let's go.
They love to take it slow. So when I hit that, I watch them get it on the floor. And if you need it hyphy, I take it to the Bay. Frisco to Sac Town, they do it every day. Compton to Hollywood, soon as I hit LA. I'm in that low, I do it the Cali way. And when I hit the Shy, people say that I'm fly. They love the way I dress, they like my attire. They love how I move crowds from side to side. They ask me how I do it, and simply I reply. This is why I'm hot. 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 This is why I'm hot.
Stop putting phone numbers in the chat. Nobody cares.
I'm hot cause I'm fly. You ain't cause you not. This is why.
Uh-oh. 30 thumbs up. 30 thumbs up. Y'all asked for it.
girl, you're working with some ass hand. Your bad jam, make a nigga spend his cash hand. His last hand, holds found with your passion. They mad jam, you can ride in the jag hand. With that hand, you can smoke a fire bag hand. A grass hand, got money, I can flash hand. And trash hand, I'm a big time a nigga, yeah. Pull a trigger, yeah. I play a hater flipper, yeah. Go ahead, fill it, yeah. I be slanging wood, yeah. Out the hood, yeah. Let it be understood, yeah. It's all good, yeah. Got a nigga screaming large, yeah. On the hard, yeah. A smooth little broad, yeah. On the drug, yeah. I'm just do a trick, yeah. On the dick, yeah. Claiming you wanna fit, yeah.
There go the biscuits right there, buddy. You just need some gravy.
Birds and the money, yeah. About 100, yeah. Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker. Won't you back that ass up? Call me Big Daddy when you back that ass up. Oh, who is you playing with? Back that ass up. Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker. Won't you back that ass up? Call me Big Daddy when you back that ass up. Girl, who is you playing with? Back that ass up. Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker. Won't you back that ass up? You got a stupid ass, yeah. Make me laugh, yeah. Make a nigga wanna grab that. On the grab that. I'm sweating in the drawers, yeah. All log, yeah. Wanna walk it like a dog, yeah.
Did you seriously just ask if Texas is going 8-4?
You fucking with me.
Come on, man.
To the curb, yeah. I know you bitches know, yeah. And it's sure, yeah. But a nigga got some more, yeah. I'm about to flow, yeah. Fresh from some shit, yeah. In this bitch, yeah. We be making hits, yeah. After hits, yeah. Them titties sit nice, yeah. I wanna bite, yeah. I can fuck you.
Hey, Apollo, I have 3 kids counting you, bud.
On the couch, yeah. Knock a pussy out, yeah. Get them out, yeah. I wanna see these hoes, yeah. Bend it low, yeah. Let me run it in the hole, yeah. Make me know, yeah. Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker. Won't you back that ass up? Call me Big Daddy when you back that ass up. Oh, who is you playing with? Back that ass up. Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker. Won't you back that ass up? Call me Big Daddy when you back that ass up. Oh, who is you playing with? Back that ass up.
I know you can't stand it. Dick chick. Beat the dick like a motherfucking drummer chick. Say that, put it cat. Look at that. I love a fucking hooded rat. That's a fact. You's a motherfucking get it, girl. Quit it, girl. I'm the nigga, the hit it, girl.
Girl, you looks good, won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker, won't you back that ass up? Call me Big Daddy when you back that ass up. Oh, who is you playing with? Back that ass up. Girl, you looks good, won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker, won't you back that ass up? Call me Big Daddy when you back that ass up. Oh, who is you playing with? Back that ass up.
After you back it up, then stop. Then what, drop it like it's hot. Now after you back it up, then stop. Now what, drop it like it's hot. Now drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. CMB, make you drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, good morning, and that it is Uncle Lou here. That's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, live on YouTube for you. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show. How's everybody doing? Might have to play some more music at the end of the show tonight. We'll see. We'll see how the show goes. We might have to play some more bangers there at the end of the show. How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. I post pointless, barely watchable college football videos almost every single day of the year, and we even do these ridiculous live streams a couple days a week. We do some streams on the weekends. We have a really good time. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up. You'll be glad you did. You'll be glad you did. Yeah, happy Tuesday. This is a call-in show, as previously mentioned. So, if you would like to be a part of the show, if you want to call up and cry about the pre-show music, or you want to call up and talk football, same link for either one. Same link for either one. Fair warning. I've been giving this warning for years, so I'll give it again now. It's a lot harder to call up and have a conversation with somebody in real time than it is to sit in a basement, in a dark room somewhere, drooling onto a keyboard for 5 minutes trying to think of something funny to type. So just keep that in mind before you call in. But all callers are welcome. Hit the StreamYard link. StreamYard is easy to use. You don't have to download anything. It's web-based. You do it from your phone. Just hit that link. Little box will come up. Type your name in the box. Click Enter Studio. Put you in a back room where you'll be able to hear the show. And when it's your turn to come on, I'll put you on, and we'll talk some college football. It's so easy to do that there's even been Big Ten people that have figured it out over the years. So that just goes to show. Who watched my buddy Juice Poot earlier today? I was watching the playoff game. What's going on here? Yes, join live, dummy. I was watching the Knicks and Pistons game, and I realized, oh, Juice Poot is on. I don't know, it was about 30 minutes ago or something. So I noticed the title of his stream today was National Title Contenders. So I clicked on it. I guess so. That would have been, I guess, maybe halfway through his show, around 8:30, I guess. The title of his live show was National Title Contender. So I said, oh, this ought to be good. Who's he talking about? Texas, Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon? Who's he talking about? Clicked on it. Guess who he was talking about? Florida. This is a 10-2 roster talent. This is 10-2 roster talent. But there's just this one small problem of the schedule. Yeah, Juice. Hey, Juice Poot. This just in. To win a national title, you got to beat good teams, dummy. Come on, man. This guy just won't stop hyping up Florida. He's going on 3 off seasons straight hyping up this train wreck. I don't understand. I mean, I know why he does it. Same reason he hypes up Oklahoma and Southern Cal and all this other long list of teams that ain't coming nowhere near a national title anytime soon. He's pandering, you know. That's the thing about Juice Poot. He casts a wide fucking net, doesn't he? Not me. My net's narrow as shit. I'm here to tell you, there ain't but about 4 or 5 teams winning the Natty. So if you're a fan of any of those other teams, you're not winning a Natty this year. So set a realistic goal for yourself and enjoy the college football season. But Florida, Oklahoma, Southern Cal, who else? I mean, the list is a mile long. You're not getting anywhere near the Natty. I mean, I don't know why being honest about teams and coaching staffs and rosters and players is frowned upon. I don't understand it. I mean, do you treat your kids that way? I mean, I guess you do when they're 2, you know, and you're like, yeah, Timmy, you can be a fireman and an astronaut and drive bulldozers. You can do all of those. You can do all of that. Yeah, you can be a professional astronaut during the week, a fireman on the weekends, and then a couple of times a month you can be an astronaut. Yeah, sure, you can go to the moon. You tell your kid that when he's 2, you know. Your kid gets to be 16, 17, 18 years old. You're like, hey, listen, that whole astronaut thing, yeah, that's not happening. I mean, so I don't know. I treat people like 18-year-olds. Juice Poot treats them like 2-year-olds. Florida's not winning the Natty. I mean, I don't know why that's controversial. So no amount of stroking your ego by Juice Poot, Florida man, is going to change the fact that Florida doesn't have the coaching. That's they don't have the coaching or the players to win a national title. So I don't understand the constant hype machine that Juice Poot spits out for teams who have absolutely no shot at all. It's I don't get it. I don't get it. But Juice Poot did reply to one of my tweets the other day, so there is that. So he's not all bad. No, just kidding. Y'all know I like Juice Poot for facts and information. I just don't value his opinions at all because he thinks everybody has a chance to go 100-0. He thinks everybody has a chance to go 100-0 and cure cancer this year, and it's just not happening. Terrence, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, hey, Lou, a person who studies monkey business for a living and 8 biologists said it only takes 30 to 40 men to beat a gorilla. Well, great. Tell him to get 30 or 40 of his buddies, and let's go. I'll watch it. You can't get one person to volunteer for that suicide mission. So, but that's great that he said that. Juice Poot said Florida can win a Natty. He's a college football biologist. So, Juice Poot is wrong, and so is your buddy that studies monkey biology for a living. Yeah. They just have to be committed. Yeah, they have to be committed to the afterlife. They have to be committed to imminent death. That's it. Facts. 100%. 100%. As usual, if you call into the show, we can talk about any college football topic of your choosing. That's fine with me. I always try to come up with something to spark the debate for the show. And it's getting about that time for me to make my coaching rankings lists. Now, I do these by conference first. In other words, I'll make, 4 videos, one for each of the 4 major conferences, where I will rank the coaches within those conferences. And then I'll do a 5th video where maybe I just rank like top 10 coaches in all of football or something like that. I'm not going to rank all 68 or whatever it is, Power 4 coaches, 1 to 68. I why would anyone care? I will do the conferences, so I'll rank them 1 through 16 or 1 through 17 or 1 through 18, whatever it is, coaches in the conference. And then I'll make a 5th video where I do like, top 10 or 12 or some amount of top whatever coaches in the country. But it won't be like 1 through 68. So if you want to talk about that tonight when you call up, that would be great. I don't really know if we have time for you to rattle off an entire list of ACC coaches 1 through 17 or whatever. But if you want to call up and give me your top 3 coaches in whatever conference and your worst 3 coaches in whatever conference, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Isaac, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, do you think gorillas have unlimited stamina? Do you think humans have unlimited stamina? The most fit human fighters on the planet need a break every 3 minutes. They need a break every 3 minutes, unless you want to count UFC fighters, in which case they need a break every 5 minutes, but they're only capable of going 3 rounds. So no, gorillas do not have unlimited stamina, nor do human beings. Do you think gorillas have unlimited stamina? Yeah. I mean, I don't know that 100 human beings could kill a sleeping gorilla, buddy. I mean, I don't know what they could do to damage it. Honestly, I don't know what they could do to possibly damage a gorilla. There's no amount of hitting a gorilla that's going to make any difference at all. You might as well be outside hitting a brick wall. So, yeah, might as well be outside hitting a brick wall on that. All right, we're going to get to the phone calls here. Hit the thumbs up if you hadn't already. That's the easiest way to help support the show and the channel. It's free, and it doesn't take any effort or energy on your part at all. Just hit the thumbs up. It is a help to the show. If you would like to go above and beyond, there are several ways for you to do that, including the super chat, which is right below the comment section there. There's also a Cash App and a PayPal link in the description of the video. If you enjoy the show, if you enjoy the channel, and you would like to help support it, those are great ways to do it. I just posted those links, the call-in link, and the donation links in the chat. There you go. It's betting season. Let's go over the bets we have so far. Of course, I will take any bet you want to make. I don't turn down any bets. So, over-under bets on a certain game, whatever it is, this time of year, I'll take pretty much any bet anybody wants to make. So here's the list of bets we've taken so far. Somebody says Florida State is beating Bama. I've got Bama. They've got Florida State. Somebody says Oklahoma is winning more than 6.5 games. So they've got the over. I've got the under. Somebody says China is invading Taiwan by April 16th of next year, which, of course, also is not happening. I'll win that bet, no problem. China doesn't bother anyone else. They just bother themselves, pretty much. How they treat their own people is one thing, but they're not invading Taiwan. Don't worry about that. Let's see. Somebody says Kentucky is going to win over 4.5 games. So they've got over 4.5 wins for Kentucky. I've got under 4.5. Somebody says Illinois is finishing the season unranked. Somebody says Michigan is finishing the season unranked, and somebody says Kansas State is finishing the season unranked, and somebody says Georgia Tech is finishing the season unranked. So if any of those teams finish the season unranked, I lose. If they finish the season ranked, I win. Those are the bets I have made with y'all so far this off season. If you want to make a bet with Uncle Lou, let me know in the comments section or whatever, and we'll get it figured out. Bragging rights. You have to go around and tell all your buddies on the playground that you went ahead and beat Uncle Lou in a bet there. Get you some of that clout you've been looking for. Five-star dummy. Yes, I am a 5-star dummy. You could gauge the gorilla's eyes out and bite off its manhood. You can't bite through gorilla's skin, dummy. You can't. A gorilla, on the other hand, can crush your skull with his hand. So biting off his dick is a good idea. Unfortunately, the human jaw cannot produce enough PSI to bite through a gorilla's skin. Never mind its muscle. But I guess that's a good idea, though. And in order to gouge out a gorilla's eyeballs, somebody's got to get within about 3 feet of them. And as soon as that happened, their arms would be ripped off, and the person would be beat to death with his own arm. But that's a good idea, though. Yeah, go ahead and sign up for that. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
What's up, Lou? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ballard. What's going on?
Not much. I figured I'd call in and maybe make a bet with you on a certain team, and then also I wanted to talk about. I wanted to get your assessment when you look at a quarterback like Drew Aller. Like, what stands out about him, and do you think he's built to be ready for the next level?
Yeah. Now he can't run around. Yeah, look, when it comes to the NFL and being ready for the next level, it depends a lot on what team you go to, what kind of offense they run, whether you fit with that system or not, and those kind of things. Like, take Lamar Jackson, for example. If you take Lamar Jackson and you put him in the New England Patriots offense that they ran with Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson's not going to be good in that offense. If you take Tom Brady and you put him on the Ravens and make him run the Ravens offense like Lamar does, Tom Brady would be garbage. So with Drew Aller, he's more Tom Brady than he is Lamar Jackson. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady. He's not going to be the greatest quarterback ever. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean is he's a big, tall pocket passer that can make every throw on the field. And there are NFL teams that still want that. Matthew Stafford is still in the league. This guy hadn't ran 3 yards his whole life. He's been in the league for 20 years almost. So the sort of smaller, faster, mobile quarterback is kind of the flavor of the week in the NFL. But there are still teams out there that value a big, tall, pocket passing quarterback, and that's what Drew Aller would be. So it would have to be that kind of team that picks him up. But I do think he'll get a shot in the NFL. Yeah, he'll be one of the first. I mean, it's hard to handicap next year's draft now, because all we know is who are the top returning quarterbacks in college football. You don't know what kind of a season they're going to have this year to go up or down on teams' draft boards for next year. But Drew Aller will get drafted and will get an opportunity to start somewhere in the NFL. Whether he'll be successful or not, I've got no idea, because it depends on a lot of those things we just talked about.
For sure, man. Absolutely. I fully agree with everything you just said. And then I wanted to look at a team tonight. You talk about placing some bets. I might actually want to take a chance on that tonight.
Which team?
Iowa.
Oh, Iowa. Okay. You high on Iowa?
What's their yeah, I think so. I don't know what their win total's at, but I feel like they could have a really interesting season this year.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that they don't really get a lot of
know.
attention or focus in the offseason, because they're never really bad and they're never really good. Like, we love to talk about the teams that were terrible. We love to talk about the teams that were great. We don't spend a lot of time talking. Like, there wasn't a lot of people running around talking about Georgia when Mark Richt was there. Why? Well, because there was nothing to talk about. They were going to win 8 or 9 games, maybe 10, nothing more and nothing less. Like, there was nothing exciting to talk about. And Iowa's kind of that. Wisconsin was that way for a long time.
Right.
But, they are in year 2 of finally getting a new offensive coordinator. Their defense is always good. They always have good tight ends in line of scrimmage. Now, a lot of it with them, it's kind of like in the SEC now. You really have to look at a team's schedule, because what if they're playing Oregon, Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State? Okay, then that's one prediction you might have for Oregon. But what if they're only playing one of those teams? Well, then you might have a different prediction for them. You know what I mean? Because the schedules are so different now from year to year.
Absolutely.
Let me pull up the win total and see what Vegas thinks about
I got the schedule at least, so.
Okay, good. Yeah, because you got to know the schedule for sure before you try to predict anybody's win total for sure, because they can be so different. Vegas has the over/under for Iowa at 7.5 wins. 7.5.
Okay.
Wins.
So taking the over, I would need them to win 8 or more.
8 or more.
And under would be 7 and 5 or worse.
Yeah, and these
Look at the
over/unders are regular season bets only. It doesn't account for any potential conference championship game or bowl game or playoff or whatever. So it's just out of their 12-game regular season, will they win more than 7.5 or less than 7.5? Yeah.
Okay, so I look at their schedule. They open with U Albany, which I guess is from Georgia. Is that from Georgia?
That
The Great Danes. Yeah.
that
They'll win that.
yeah, I don't know if
Iowa
that's
State. It's at Iowa State. Um, ooh,
all we know
man.
about that game is that the score is going to be 9-5. We don't know who's going to win, but we do know the final score will be 9-5 in that game because
Right,
it's
right.
always
I'm
something
gonna
weird like
say
that.
I might take Iowa State there, so I think that could be their first loss, possibly. UMass, they'll be at Rutgers. They'll be Indiana at home. That's where we get tricky here, I think. At Wisconsin off a bye week, Penn State, Minnesota, bye week again on November 1st, Oregon loss at USC and Michigan State. Oh, no, Nebraska at the end of the year on the road. So let's see. I'm looking at the definite losses. I would call Oregon up. I would call Penn State. That's 2. Um, I think they could lose that Indiana game. I'm gonna put them at 9-3, Lou. So
Okay, so you like the over?
I like the over. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, I like the under.
Okay. I'm gonna try to hope for 9-3 or what'd you say it was? 7.5. I mean, I could
Yeah,
get by
seven
with
and a
like
half.
8 games.
Yep. You need them to go
Yeah.
8-4 or better. Yeah. You want to make the bet?
Deal.
I'll write it down. You just let me know.
All right. Yeah, I'm in.
All right.
How much?
Ballard Sports
Media.
says Iowa over 7.5 W's. Whatever you want. No more than $100. We're not out here trying to make people rich or break people. So whatever, $10, $20, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's up to you.
I can do $10.
All right. I'm writing it down. And I'm writing it down. And you know the Cash App and the PayPal. It's in the description.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ballard. Good luck, buddy. Good luck.
right.
Ballard says Iowa.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, buddy. Good to have you on, man. Ballard says Iowa over 7.5 wins. He says 9-3. I say 1 loss to Iowa State, 2 losses to Penn State, 3 losses to Oregon, 4 losses at Southern Cal. And then they got to lose one of their last 2 games for me to win the bet. I think they will lose one of the last 2 and go 7-5. So I think I'll win that one. But Ballard says over 7.5 wins for Iowa. Is he right or is he wrong? Lou, what is the over-under for the Illinois Fighting Illini? Great question. Let's look. Illinois' win total, 7.5. 7.5. Now their schedule, let's find it. There it is, Illinois. Win at Indiana. First potential loss would be to Southern Cal. Win at Purdue. Loss to Ohio State. That's 2 potential losses. At Washington is tricky. Washington's going to be improved this year, I think. That's tricky. Rutgers, I think they can beat at home. Maryland, I think they can beat at home. Wisconsin, they're going over 7.5. They're not losing 5 of these games. They would have to lose to Indiana, Southern Cal, and Ohio State. That's 3. Washington, 4. And Wisconsin, 5. That's not happening. I like Illinois over 7.5 wins. Of course, I'm higher on Illinois than the average idiot. I've got Illinois ranked close to my top 10. Don't I? It might be in my top. Where is my top 10? I'm glad you asked. I'll pull it up now. Thank you for asking. Appreciate you asking that. Is this it? There you go. There's Uncle Lou's top. Where I have Illinois. I've got Illinois at 11. So I obviously think they have the potential to win more than 7.5. I've got him at 11. I forgot to add the numbers in when I did this, but hopefully y'all can figure this out. It's 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15, 16 through 20, 21 through 25. Hopefully it's not too confusing for whatever South Carolina or Ole Miss fans might be watching. Hopefully that's not too confusing to not have the actual rankings on there in that. And also. Yeah, the Fighting Illini. Isn't that what they are? Am I saying it wrong? I thought it was the Fighting Illini. Is that not right? Good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lou, though, and two. So.
What's going on, Uncle Lou? I got a prediction.
All right. Well, I can't wait to hear it.
I think DJ Lagway will get hurt midway during the season, and then they'll be out of quarterback.
Goddamn injury predictions, man. What are you doing? We don't want nobody to get hurt. What are you doing?
Well, I'm not wishing harm. I just think that's what's going to happen.
Dang, this man out here making injury predictions, y'all.
Yeah, I think he's going to get hurt.
He is injury prone. I mean, I get it. I get you there. I get it. He is injury prone. I mean, you can't deny that, I guess. I mean, how many times was he injured last year? 2 or 3, and then whatever these mystery injuries he had all off season. So you are right. You are right.
Yeah. It's going to put Florida in a bind, and then they're not going to have a reliable quarterback to rely on. And then what's his face is going to get fired.
Sunbelt Billy?
Yeah, Sunbelt Billy.
Dang.
Yeah, he's going to get fired. And they're probably thinking, like, future tense. They wish they fired him last year instead of waiting this year.
Yeah.
As for Josh Pate, he does it because he wants higher viewership.
Oh yeah, I know why he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't believe half the shit he says. I know. Yeah, I mean, I know why he does it. I mean, it's from a business point of view, it's smart to do it. I just don't have the ability to lie like that. I mean, I can't. If I don't think a team's making the playoffs, I've got no problem saying they ain't making the playoffs. I don't have the ability to come on here and try to pretend that there's a way Oklahoma's going 10-2 because they're not, and neither is Auburn, and neither is Florida. I mean, none of that is happening. And I don't have the ability to pretend like it is just to appease big fan bases. I don't have that ability.
Yeah. I was thinking about Georgia. You got a win total on them. What you think they're going to win? Like 9-3, 10-2?
I think 9-3 is the most likely record for Georgia and miss the playoffs. Yeah. Now that doesn't mean they won't go. They could go 10-2 and win the SEC again. I mean, they're one of 3 or 4 teams that has a chance to win the SEC. But if I had to do a game by game deal right now, it would probably come down at 9-3.
I agree. I think 9-3 is one more loss than what they had last year. Yeah,
they were 10-2 last year. Yeah.
Just the question marks is because of the, was it the defensive line? Is that what it is?
Well, all new offensive line. 4 out of the 5 starters are new on the offensive line. All the wide receivers are new. Nate Frazier's the only returning running back that's really ever done anything in a Georgia helmet. You got to replace the safety, Malachi Starks. You have KJ Bolden, but you need 2 safeties. I don't know if you know that, but so they lose Malachi Starks and Dan Jackson. So they lose 2 of the safeties. KJ Bolden played a lot last year, but you got to have another safety out there too. So Joel Aguero, some of these younger guys, they got a lot of talent, but they've never played. So that's what I mean. It's not that I think
the experience.
It's not that I think Georgia has 2 or 3 position groups that are bad. It's that they've got 2 or 3 position groups that we don't know whether they're good or bad. You just don't know. You got a brand new quarterback. RB2 is a transfer from Illinois. Now, last year it was ETN, and it worked okay. He was injured, but he did okay when he played. If you can get that out of Josh McCray and you add in Nate Frazier, that's a pretty good 1-2 there. But, Nate Frazier was injured some last year too. So we'll see on that. The wide receivers are they're not freshmen, but they're going to be basically new. You're going to have Noah Thomas on one side, a transfer from Texas A&M. You're going to have Colby Young on the other. And look, I love Colby Young. He's great in terms of Georgia receivers. he's pretty average in the pantheon of great wide receiver. The guy, he wouldn't see the field at Ohio State. Colby Young wouldn't. He wouldn't get in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he but he's better than what we had last year. So you got him on one side, Noah Thomas on the other. Those are both 6'2", 6'3" plus guys that can go up and get the ball. I say go up and get the ball. Colby Young not going up to get the ball is what cost Georgia the Bama game last year at the end. Let's not forget that either. The guy made zero effort at all to catch that ball at the end of the Georgia Bama game. None. Zero. It's like his feet were glued to the ground. So, again, he's not George Pickens or A.J. Green, but he's better than what we had last year. And then in the slot, you've got 19 guys to choose from because Georgia's got a roster full of slot receivers. Zachariah Branch from Southern Cal, Dylan Bell, whatever other 5'10" receivers they have floating around the locker room. You know, the offensive line, I don't want to hear – look, anybody that says they're certain that Georgia's going to have a great offensive line is lying to themselves. How do you know that? Georgia had one of the highest-rated offensive lines in America coming into the season last year, and they were dog shit. Now you've got 4 people that have never played before. Now, kind of like the wide receivers, I find it hard to believe that Georgia's offensive line will play worse than it did last year, but we don't know that because it's 4 new starters. You got
and that tackle.
You got
that tackle.
You go over to the defensive side of the ball. We talked about safety. You got no experienced edge rushers. 0. The most experienced guy you have was planning on joining the Army 2 weeks ago. Now he's got a Georgia helmet on. You got no experience, nothing there. It's all gone. So there's just a lot of questions. Now, Georgia, we all, if you're on scholarship at Georgia, you've got talent and potential, but not everybody that's got talent and potential lives up to it. So a lot of those question marks for Georgia are going to have to be answered in the affirmative if Georgia's going to go 10-2 and play for the SEC title again. If too many of those question marks get answered in the negative, they'll be 9-3 or 8-4, and they won't be in the SEC championship game or the playoffs.
Yeah. And we still got that shitty ass tackle that kept, you know,
he's the only one that's back from last year. And he was the worst one. Monroe Freeling. So now, can players improve from one year to the next? Of course they can. We see it all the time. Is it a guarantee? No. Yeah, that's the thing. All of Georgia's offensive linemen have NFL potential, or they wouldn't be on scholarship at Georgia. But every offensive lineman with NFL potential doesn't live up to it. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. All right, I got to let you go because you're I don't know if you're running out of minutes or what, but the echo was getting bad there. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
The champ is here.
What's up, Octavian?
What's going on, buddy? I see you gonna ring him off about the Gators, and that last caller, man, he's delusional as hell. He's delusional as hell. Talking about DJ Lagway is getting angry. Are you kidding me? Fuck out of here with that, man. But anyway, my team is gonna be. We're gonna be good. I'm not expecting us to win the SEC. I expect us to get to the playoffs. I want us to get to the playoffs. We're gonna beat Georgia this year. We're gonna do that. We're gonna throw the ball around. We're gonna do a little fun and good, and we're going back to the Spurrier days. So, any questions for the Georgia fans or the haters? I would like to be able. I would like to answer their questions here today.
Yeah.
Any questions?
All right, Octavian. I have no idea what you said, but thank you for the call. I've got no clue what he said, but as usual, Octavian, thank you for the call. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, how you doing, Luke?
Hey, buddy.
So I just want to comment on what I think is going on in the Florida world right now. I think that what's happening to us is that we're having shades of 05 to 08, where we won those 2 national championships in basketball. We won those 2 championships in football, and we had Tim Tebow. It's almost been 20 years to the day since that all went down, and we got Lagway now, which is, supposed to be the second coming of Tebow. My problem with that viewpoint is that Urban Meyer and Billy Napier are in 2 different galaxies coaching-wise. Like, this is the lingering fear in the back of my mind as a Florida fan, is that if you just, I don't know, like, how many Florida games you've watched in the past 3 years. But there's just been some games that I've just mind-bogglingly horrible coaching.
Yeah.
Like the Tennessee game. I mean, the amount of opportunities we had to win that game last year. You win that game last year, and who knows? You're probably a preseason top 25 team, or getting a lot more hype, or whatever. Billy Napier handed that game to Tennessee on a platter, or the Texas A&M game where Mike Elko, in his third game in the SEC, comes to Gainesville and beats you in your third year at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't even close.
We've seen it with other teams and coaches too, and I'm kind of surprised that somebody in the administration at Florida hadn't gotten a hold of Napier with this, but he needs an offensive coordinator. And why you would think that after being there for 3 years and having a 19-19 record, that you should continue to be your own offensive coordinator is beyond me. Beyond me. I mean, I can't think of a single year that they've had even a decent offense down there. With him calling plays. And I don't think any head coach, I don't think Lincoln Riley should call his own plays. I don't think Lane Kiffin should call his own plays. But at least those two guys are elite offensive minds. Billy Napier is not in that category. So why he won't hire an offensive coordinator is beyond me. It cost Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. I mean, we've just seen it over and over again. So part of what you're saying with things that happen in certain games against Tennessee, I mean, I'd have to go back and rewatch the games, but so that's a bad idea. And then to get back to your original point about the quarterback thing, Florida had Tim Tebow, that's true. They also had Percy Harvin and about 20 other NFL players.
Yep.
Okay. So the thing is, you could put 2008 Tim Tebow on this Florida team, and they would not they wouldn't win a natty.
No,
they just wouldn't.
They wouldn't even come close.
Florida, and look, it sounds like trash talk, and in a way it is, or it can be. But we went through a similar thing as Georgia fans. Tennessee went through it as Nico. When you're sort of a middling or below average program, like Georgia was in the sort of mid 2010s, now they weren't as bad as Florida or Tennessee. They were winning 8, 9, 10 games, but they couldn't win any more than that. All of a sudden, Jacob Eason commits to Georgia, and Georgia fans, myself included, went absolutely insane because, oh my God, we're getting Jacob Eason. And then every time he completed a pass, we were like, oh my God, did you see that? It was unbelievable. Well,
Yep.
The rest of the team was dog shit. We were blinded by hope, and that happened to Tennessee with Nico, and it's happening now to Florida with Lagway. Jacob Eason was a good quarterback. Was he great? No, but he was good. Nico, good quarterback. Is he great? Not yet. Maybe he will be. Lagway, is he good? Yeah. Is he great? Not yet. Maybe he will be. But guess who else is great? Cam Ward. Jackson Dart. Whoever. They ain't got no
Right.
fucking natties. You know who does
Right.
have natties? Will fucking Howard. J.J. McCarthy. Stetson Bennett. All of these quarterbacks we've just talked about are better than all of those national title winning quarterbacks. They had teams. They had entire teams of NFL players around them. Tennessee didn't have that last year, the year before, the year before, the year before. Florida doesn't have that now. They're not winning a natty. And Lagway could live up to the hype. He could throw for 3,500 yards and run for 1,000. They're not winning a natty.
No, they're not winning a natty this year, and I just think that that's setting yourself up for complete I mean, if you truly believe we're winning a natty this year, I mean, you haven't been watching Florida football for the past 3 years. There's just been some games that are just flummoxing. Like, it's like you said about the offensive coordinator. Like when we hired Billy Napier, we were told as fans, oh, you're getting a CEO. Dan Mullen, he was arrogant. He was cocky. He didn't recruit. He didn't care about recruiting during the season. We're getting a CEO. This guy, he went and he built up the Louisiana football team. He put everybody in the right place. He built that organization. He's a CEO-minded coach. Well, we have 4 offensive line coaches and 0 offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
That's not a CEO. Like, that's a CEO investing in, 100% manufacturing and 0% human capital. A CEO would never do that. So it's just certain things like that I mean, I think you just got to look at it objectively as a Florida fan and just say like, hey, for us, I think the ceiling is 9-3, even though the schedule is, again, another ridiculous year of having probably the hardest schedule in the country, maybe outside of Oklahoma. But I don't know. I think ceiling 9-3, floor. If Lagway gets hurt, Lagway saved his job last year. He was going to get fired. He puts Lagway in. He didn't put up astonishing numbers, but we started winning games we shouldn't have won when he was on the field. I think that's why we're excited.
Here's the thing about that: 7-5 shouldn't save your career when it's your third year to school. 7-5 should have been his first year there. This is Florida we're talking about here. As much as I hate Florida, okay, this is Florida. Billy Napier has lost 19 games in 3 years. Do you know how many games Kirby Smart has lost in 9 years? 19.
Jeez.
19. He ain't it. Billy Napier ain't it.
And it's sad because we have Lagway and we don't have the Urban Meyer, whoever that could have been in that spot. We don't have that. So that's all I wanted to say, Uncle Lou. I think, you know.
Good call. Yeah, good call. Yeah. See, look, he's no less of a Florida fan than Octavian or somebody that runs around saying Florida's going 100-0 and Lagway's winning the Heisman and all that. There's nothing wrong with taking an honest and realistic look at your team and your coaching staff and everything else. I don't understand Florida fans' belief in Billy Napier. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it at all. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Oh, it's me again. I'll hop off.
Oh, sorry. All right. Thank you for the call. Yeah, put the same guy on twice. All right, if you want to be on the show, now is a good time. There's nobody waiting. Nobody waiting to come on. Yeah, this idea that we have to keep Billy Napier because he went 7-5 in his third year. But that's the thing. They talk about Billy Napier last year like last year was his first year. That wasn't his first. That's what you expect in a first year. Insert a new true freshman quarterback that's got a lot of potential, even though you know you're not winning a lot of games, blah, blah, blah. And then, oh, my God, he won a couple of games we didn't think we were going to win, and we finished 7-5 in year one. Not a great record, not what we're used to as Florida fans, but in year one, hey, I'll take it. This is year 3. This is year 4 now. That was year 3. I don't understand it. I really don't. Lou, will you bet me on Bama versus Georgia? I'll make any bet anybody wants to make. Whether I agree with the bet or not is irrelevant. I will make any bet anybody wants to make, but it's got to be a real bet. In other words, if we're doing Georgia-Bama, I'm not going to give you Bama plus 100 points or something. It's got to be, if there's an actual line out for the game, and I'll look and see if there is. There might be. There might be. Georgia and Bama. Notre Dame's a 2.5-point favorite at Miami. Wow. Whoa. Bet this immediately. North Carolina is a 2.5-point favorite at home, week 1 against TCU. Bet TCU right now. TCU is going to beat the soul and will to live out of North Carolina, the only team in the country with a 24-year-old female as a head coach. Ohio State's a 5. So the Georgia-Bama game's not on here. So I guess if you want to bet the game straight up, we will. You can have Bama. I'll have Georgia. Is that what you want to do? No points. Straight bet. 50 on Bama over Georgia. All right. Have we made any bets before? I just posted the link to the PayPal and the Cash App. You have to send the money or it's not a bet. I don't chase people around after I win bets to collect the money. If you want to make the bet, you have to send it now or ahead of time. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Then we just won't make the bet. But I've been doing this for 11 years. I wasted the first 2 years chasing deadbeats with anonymous accounts all over the internet because they didn't pay their bet. So I just don't do it that way anymore. Agreed. Horny frogs rip tar holes. Yeah, I mean, again, I know I'm a 5-star dummy, but I've got TCU in my preseason top 25. I think they could have a good year. The Big 12 is so hard to handicap. I'd love somebody to call me up and rank the Big 12 for me from best to worst. Boy, you want to talk about driving yourself up a wall? Try to rank the Big 12. It's impossible. It's impossible. I have no idea who's winning the Big 12 or who's coming in dead last. I've got no clue. Everything at this point is a guess. But when it comes to the Big 12, to me, it's a complete crapshoot. A complete crapshoot. Wolverine Scoop, thank you for hitting the super chat, buddy. Good to see you in here tonight. He says, I'm jealous of James Franklin. He doesn't have to win a big game to be considered a top 10 coach. He won a playoff game. I don't know how big you consider that to be, but he did win a playoff game. And I think he is a top 10 coach. If you don't think he's a top 10 coach, I'd love for you to call in and tell me which 10 coaches in the country you would put ahead of him. Maybe you can convince me I'm wrong. I have a Florida fan in my comment section today on my top 25 video telling me that Billy Napier is better than James Franklin. James Franklin is the most mistalked about coach on the planet. I don't understand. For a Florida fan to try to tell me that Billy Napier is better than James Franklin when James Franklin was winning 9 games a year at fucking Vandy, and Billy Napier's never done better than 7-5 in 3 years at Florida. Come on, man. Jump out of a window, dude. What are you doing? What in the... I mean, seriously. There's no such thing as being a top 10 coach by default. Listen, if you think that James Franklin's not any good, and Penn State has consistently been the third best team in the Big Ten for a decade, then you must think the Big Ten is absolute dog shit, because James Franklin and Penn State have been the third best program in the Big Ten for a decade. So if you think James Franklin's not any good and Penn State is overrated and James Franklin doesn't know what he's doing and all this stuff, then that means you think the Big Ten is absolute dog shit. Absolute dog shit. And I don't think the Big Ten is absolute dog shit. I think the Big Ten is the best conference in football. But if you think the third best coach in the Big Ten is absolute dog shit, then you think the Big Ten is dog shit. God's on Lagway's side. God doesn't give a fuck about college football, buddy. I hate to break that to you. Lou, I believe we will see another 41-0 in week 3. No, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That's the Georgia-Tennessee game. Yeah, I don't know about that. Now that USC is in the Big Ten, it's not dog shit. Well, until USC gets a legitimate head coach, they're sort of dragging the Big Ten down right now. Southern Cal is. Now, Lincoln Riley, he's not a top 10 coach. No, he's not a top 10 coach. He might have used to be at one time, but he's not now. I think Lincoln Riley's the most overpaid coach on the planet. He makes $11-12 million a year for nothing. They're paying him $2 million a win. They're paying Lincoln Riley $2 million per win. That's insane. That's insanity. The best coaches on the planet get paid about $1 million per win. A little less than that, actually. The best coaches on the planet get paid less than $1 million per win. Lincoln Riley's getting paid $2 million per win. He's stealing from Southern Cal. Lincoln Riley is maybe top 10 OC, but not top 10 head coach. Yeah, the problem is he's currently a head coach. That's the problem. That's the problem, buddy. Yeah, he's look, he's a great offensive mind. There's no question. Am I delusional? Am I delusional thinking Florida State could go 8-4? I don't think they're going 8-4, but I guess that's not completely delusional. I mean, it is Florida State, but so I don't know if I would put that. Or I'll tell you this: anything above that, anybody that thinks they're going 9-3, 10-2, competing for the ACC, anything like that, that's definitely delusional. 8-4 is like on the fence of reality and delusion. It's like right in the middle. My prediction for Florida State is probably going to come in at under 8 wins. But I guess that's not the worst thing that's not the most delusional thing in the world, I guess. Good morning, bud. Paylou, go blue. The Paylou movement has not been going well yesterday and today. Now, it looks like it might be about to turn around if the Knicks can hang on and beat the Pistons. I've got the Knicks to win, so we'll see. But I've been taking a beating in baseball the last couple of days. So we need some wins here. We need some wins. Uncle Lou, what's your evaluation, if any, of Rashul Faison, Utah State running back to South Carolina via the portal? I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of him. I don't pretend to be a Group of 5 expert. I do pretend to be a Power 4 expert. Now, depending on who you ask, I might actually be pretending even about that. But if it's a Group of 5 team that's not ranked or has a potential of becoming a playoff team, I chances are I don't know anything about them. So I don't know anything about that running back. I really don't. And so I could, in order to make myself look better, I could lie and try to come up with something, but I'm just going to tell you, I don't know anything about him at all. I'll know something about him before I do a South Carolina prediction video, but I don't know anything about him right now. So that's all I can tell you on that. Does Auburn make a bowl game? It all depends on Jackson Arnold. They've recruited well. They've got talent at some other positions, but I don't like them getting Jackson Arnold. I like them getting a transfer quarterback. They desperately needed one. I don't like the idea of, okay, our offense was a turnover machine last year. We played 2 or 3 different quarterbacks. They all turned the ball over 1 million times. Okay, let's go into the portal and get another quarterback who turned the ball over 1 million times, Jackson Arnold. Now, he was a freshman, so you would think, room for improvement there with Jackson Arnold. He definitely has a higher ceiling than any of the quarterbacks Auburn had last year. But it seems extremely risky to try to fix your turnover problem by going out and getting the most turnover-prone quarterback you can find. That's very risky, especially in a season where I think Hugh Freeze's job could be on the line, because if they win 5 or 6 games, Auburn's going to get rid of him, I think. Lou ranked top 5 best uniforms in college football. I can't do that off the top of my head, man. And then you got home versus away. You've got all these alternate uniforms that people do now. So it would just be impossible for me off the top of my head to just rank the 5 best college football uniforms. I'm kind of a mix between a traditionalist, but then I also am in love with black uniforms. So, Penn State, Bama, some of these just traditional, they never change. Part of me likes that. Is there anything great about Alabama's uniform? No. If you showed Alabama's uniform to somebody who's never watched college football before, they wouldn't go, wow, that's a good looking uniform. But I love the tradition of college football, so I do, I like some of these teams that have stuck to that. But Ohio State, when they wear their black uniforms, it looks, I don't see how you can look at Ohio State in their black uniforms and go, that doesn't look good. It looks great. This is a weird one, but maybe the best uniform I've ever seen. Arkansas State has an alternative black uniform that might be the best uniform I've ever seen. I would not have Oregon on my list, and it's because they have too many. They've overdone it to me. I'm okay with a home uni, a road uni, and then an alternate uni that you wear maybe once a year, once every other year, something like that. I don't like the shit where, Oregon, you got to have a magic 8-ball. What helmet are we wearing today? Okay, grab that helmet, grab those pants, grab that jersey, and there's 140 different combinations. I don't like that. I don't like that. Tennessee is doing that now too. Tennessee wears 5-6 different uniforms a season. It's stupid. It's retarded too. They shouldn't do that. Georgia, on the other hand, I think handles it the wrong way on the opposite end. I think Georgia looks really good in the black jerseys, but they do it once every 5 or 6 fucking years or something, and it becomes such a big deal now that they just don't want to ever do it. So I don't like the Oregons and the Tennessees of the world that have 5, 6, or 500 different uniform combinations. I wish Georgia would wear the black jerseys a little more, but I also appreciate the teams like Alabama, Penn State, that it sort of, we have a home uniform and an away uniform. That's it. We're not changing. So I appreciate both, I guess. Cowpoke Ranch, thank you for the super chat. I really like Oklahoma's brown pants. Oh, that's just the shit running down their leg. Yeah. Oklahoma been down bad. They might be looking for a new coach at the end of this season too, if they don't have a really good year. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, Eric. What's going on, buddy? Good to hear from you, man.
Doing all right? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man.
You doing
I really
good?
am. Yeah, finally got over that
Right.
cold or whatever I had. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, it's almost football season again.
Almost. Summertime's here, so it'll start to go by quick.
Yeah, I really hope that Missouri has a good season, but I know it's not going to be as good as it was.
Who, Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some bad news, man, but it turns out Missouri might be dog shit.
Yep. Yeah, might be, because I know the Brady's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I know Roof was gone.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yep. Yeah. I know Tennessee, they're going to be looking for help as well, because
Tennessee down bad too, ain't it?
yeah, that one was surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, they might be in for an uphill climb this year. They ain't getting back to the playoffs, are they?
No.
No, don't look like it.
Yep. Hopefully everybody has a great day. Hopefully everyone stays dry.
Yeah, stay dry, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to do the show outside today, but there was a chance of rain, so that's why I'm in here. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to stay dry. You stay dry, too, okay, buddy?
All right, bud.
All right, we'll talk to you next time. There you go, Eric, with a PSA for you at the end there. Make sure you stay dry. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
What do you about some? I'm a Bama fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your opinion on Auburn?
Yeah,
year?
It's going to come down to Jackson Arnold. I mean, you probably hate Hugh Freeze specifically because you're a Bama fan.
I fucking hate him.
Yeah, you have to. I hate Hugh Freeze as a human being. I do think he's a decent head coach. I think he proved that at Ole Miss and then at Liberty. But some coaches, some offensive systems are extremely dependent on high-level quarterback play, and some aren't. And Hugh Freeze's offense, if you look at the best years Hugh Freeze has had, he's had quarterbacks that played at a really high level, fully understood his offense, and were able to run it at a really high level. He's yet to have that at Auburn. And he's basically starting over again at the quarterback position this year by going and getting Jackson Arnold out of the portal. Now, Jackson Arnold had a lot of experience last year, but the problem Auburn's quarterbacks had last year was turnovers.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason Jackson Arnold got benched 9 times last year was because he kept turning the ball over. So,
But I want your honest opinion. So they've had 2 bad seasons with, Hugh Freeze. Do you think if they have one more bad season, he's gone or what?
I think if they miss a bowl game, he's definitely gone. I think even 6-6 might get him gone.
So I live down here near Auburn. I'm a Bama fan. I got to hear them talk constantly over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, buddy, I know they've been doing good in recruiting, but I feel like if he gets fired, they might have a reset pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes 6-6 and the 6th loss is a blowout to Bama, he could be gone. If they go 6-6 and the 6th win is a win against Bama, then there's no way they fire him. But I mean, I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, it's in Auburn, but
yeah,
things happen down in Auburn.
Well, that's the thing. I know it too as a Georgia fan. It's a weird place. But it would take something weird like that, I think, for Auburn to win that game. But Hugh Freeze has been disappointing so far in terms of on-the-field results and offensive production, especially with quarterback. Now, they've recruited well around the quarterback position, but again, Hugh Freeze's system is so dependent on high-level quarterback play that without that, it almost doesn't matter what else they have around him.
I know we can never stop the running quarterback. I swear.
Yeah,
but I was going to ask your opinion. Do you think Georgia's going to beat Alabama this year?
No.
At home or
no?
No, you don't think so?
No, I'm not picking Georgia to beat Alabama anymore, and I'm not picking Ohio State to beat Michigan. I'd rather be wrong the other way. I would
love for us to beat Georgia. I just don't see us beating them at Georgia this year. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Bama last year.
I know. I made a bet with you last year about that game. I was like, I wasn't very confident in it, but I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, I'll try. But I appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy.
For taking the call.
Yeah. Thank you for the call. I mean, do I think Georgia can beat Bama? Yeah, I think they can. But I think they could have beat them last year. I think they could have beat them in the SEC championship game in 21 or whatever. I think they could have beat them in 2020. I think they could have beat them in 2018. And I think they could have beat them in 2017. And they didn't. And in a lot of those games, Georgia was winning at halftime. So I'm just, no. When I do the Georgia prediction video, I will have Georgia losing to Alabama. That's 100% for certain. Now, that's the 4th game of the year for Georgia. So, see, I separate my preseason predictions from my weekly predictions I do during the season. You'd be an idiot not to. Not that this would happen, but if Georgia wins their first 3 games 100-0 in all 3 games, and Alabama loses their first 3 games 100-0, I'd be an idiot the week of the game to then pick Georgia to lose at home to that Alabama team that had lost 3 straight games 100-0. So I sometimes my week-by-week predictions during the season don't line up with my preseason predictions that I make in June. But really, that just gives you 2 opportunities to troll me. You can troll me on my preseason predictions if I get that wrong, or my weekly predictions if I get that wrong. But for my preseason prediction video, no, I'm not picking Georgia to beat Bama. No, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. And I'm not picking Ohio State to beat Michigan. Do I think Ohio State's better than Michigan? Yeah. I think they were better than Michigan last year, the year before, but they can't beat them. So I'm not picking it to happen. I mean, I'm just, not doing it. The Knicks and the Pistons are tied at 105. Come on, Knicks. I need a win here. I need the Knicks to pull one out on the road. Tough to win a close one here on the road, though. We'll see if they can pull it out. 5 minutes left in the game. In that one. Good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lou, though? Yeah.
Hey, Lou.
Hey, what's up, Luke?
You were talking there about some tradition stuff a couple of minutes ago, and that's the only thing I'd add to that is I kind of miss seeing these traditional teams playing on grass, but that's me. I'm old school that way. I'm not saying the turf is any worse, but I just kind of liked after a long football game that mud starts coming up and the logo starts wearing out.
Yeah.
I kind of miss those days.
Yeah, that is a throwback.
Sorry. I also wanted to ask you about your ranking video. You've got my team, Notre Dame, at 5. I was just curious if you're ranking them at 5, kind of like how you did last year, where you're only going to keep them at 5 because they can't get a top 4 playoff spot, or if you think they're the 5th best team.
Well, neither really. My rankings are a combination of a lot of different things. It's not a power rating, so this doesn't mean that I think Texas would beat Ohio State would beat Clemson, Clemson would beat Penn State would beat Notre Dame. That's a power rating. That's like what Josh Pate does. If you watch his top 25s are power ratings. So he thinks team 1 could beat team 2 could beat team 3. In the real world, football doesn't operate that way. Football is about matchups. So, for example, Texas could beat Ohio State, proving that they're better than Ohio State. Ohio State could then lose to or beat Clemson, proving they're better than Clemson, but then Clemson could beat Texas. And how would that make sense in a power rating? Texas beat Ohio State, Ohio State beat Clemson. So it's a combination of where I think a team should be ranked. In the preseason, it's where I think a team should be ranked based on a lot of different factors. How'd they do last year? How much of that team is coming back? Is the coaching staff intact? What's their schedule? Do they have a new quarterback or not? Do they have new coordinators or not? So it's a lot of different things like that. Once it gets into the season, then, of course, I take games played into account. I mean, I'm not one of the – losses matter to me.
Yep.
I don't think Alabama or South Carolina or Ole Miss deserved to be in the playoffs last year with 3 losses. I don't care if Vegas thinks Bama would have been favored over Penn State on a neutral field. I don't care about that. That's a power rating. I don't care about that. Bama had an opportunity to get into the playoffs had they beat Vandy, and they couldn't do it. So they're not like – so my rankings take all of that kind of stuff into account. It's not as simple as just, well, I think Notre Dame would lose to Penn State but beat Oregon, so I'm going to rank Notre Dame between Penn State and Oregon. It's not as simple as that. I think Notre Dame is one of the best 5 teams in the country. They've got a tough schedule, especially the first half. They play a couple of playoff teams during the regular season. They play Arkansas. They play Texas A&M. They play Boise State. And I don't give Notre Dame any room for error. I give Notre Dame 1 loss. That's it. So I'll just tell you now, if they lose 2 games, they're dropping to 13 and they're never going any higher in my ranking. I'm not on the playoff committee, so you don't have to get mad at me about it. But as long as they're not in a conference, Notre Dame's not getting in a playoff if I'm in charge, unless they're 11-1 or better.
All right, that makes sense how you described that. I will. I don't know if you want to call it argue or not. Set aside, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I just kind of disagree with Clemson and Penn State being that high, just because I feel like we already know what those teams are, and they almost beat some good teams last year, but they didn't. So, I think Oregon and Georgia. LSU. Well, LSU. I don't know. I can't give Brian Kelly any credit, but I would almost flip flop Oregon and Georgia with Penn State and Clemson, as far as especially Penn State. Penn State, good for them. They still didn't beat anybody last year. They almost did about 3 times, but they didn't. And Clemson. Without that running back, I know they think I know they got some talent, but the rest of those recruiting classes I think are going to catch up with them. And
who, Clemson?
Yeah,
I agree with you. This is Clemson's opportunity this season. The future is not bright there, but this year though, I think they will make the playoffs.
Well, Klubnik I think he's a 5th-year senior. That should help. I mean, unless he goes and plays like he did when he was a junior or whatever and throws 1,000 interceptions. Where I agree with you is when you say the ACC is just not a real competitive league right now, so that's going to help them. Carson Beck at Miami is going to be an interesting watch.
Yeah.
it all depends on if they can get that defense going.
Yeah,
I hope they don't. 'Cause
Yeah,
we got to play them week 1.
Yeah, you're right. The quarterback situation is getting all the attention at Miami because Cam Ward was the #1 pick and he put up such great numbers last year, and now they go get Carson Beck out of the portal and he's coming off of an injury, and how's this going to work now? But the defense, what you said is the key for Miami, not just in the Notre Dame game, but just in general for their season. If the defense doesn't get a lot better than what it was last year, it doesn't matter how good or bad Carson Beck is. He's not going to be better than Cam Ward. And that wasn't good enough to overcome how bad they were defensively. So the focus with Miami needs to be on the defensive side of the ball in terms of trying to figure out what their ceiling is, because there's no amount of better that they could play offensively to overcome last year's defensive efficiencies. I mean, that was the best offense Miami's ever put on the field, stat-wise, last year.
Oh. Yeah, it was like watching a
insanity.
magician play quarterback. He was great last year.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, they averaged almost 50 points a game or whatever it was, and you get to a point where it's the Lincoln Riley problem, right?
Yep.
You score 50 points a game, but you're going 8-4. Okay, scoring 60 instead of 50 isn't going to change that number in the loss column. It's the defense that has to get better. So they changed a lot on the defensive staff. They portaled a lot defensively. And we'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun year. I guess I'll leave you with I would love to see Notre Dame and LSU in a playoff game. I don't care where they play.
Boy, me too. Like, sign me up for that one immediately.
Absolutely.
Yes, that would be everybody. Yeah, that and then Oklahoma and Southern Cal for a lot of the same reasons.
Then they get together in the toilet bowl.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Hey, thank you for the call. Good luck to Notre Dame this year. Appreciate you taking the time to call in. Are you still letting folks call in? Yeah. Go ahead and call in, Bryce. The link is still live. Go ahead and call in. There's nobody waiting right now, so you might be the next one on unless somebody beats you to it. Jeremy G. Thank you for sending a Cash App to help support the show tonight. He says, Georgia versus Penn State in the national championship. Wow. That's going to, you're not going to find very many people that are going to be in 100% agreement with you on that. I think in general, people are lower on Georgia this year than they have been the last couple of years, and people are always low on Penn State. I mean, I think it's a possibility. I think both of those teams have a chance to make the playoffs. So it's not a 0% chance, but it's hard to predict a specific national title game because you don't know how the playoff brackets are going to line up. So, for example, let's say at the end of the regular season, it's obvious that Georgia and Penn State are the two best teams in the country. Well, that's not going to matter if they're in the same side of the playoff bracket. It would be impossible for them to play in the national title game. It's kind of an Ohio State-Oregon situation from last year. I think Ohio State and Oregon were the two best teams in the country. Now, it doesn't matter what I think, and Ohio State beat the absolute soul out of Oregon, and Notre Dame played them tougher, and I'm not trying to shit on Notre Dame. Notre Dame made the Natty game, and Oregon didn't. That's all that matters. But to your point about Georgia versus Penn State in a Natty, or just trying to predict a Natty game in general, it's almost impossible because you don't know which side of the bracket teams are going to line up on. See, in the NFL, AFC teams are going to be on one side of the bracket and NFC teams are going to be on the other, so you can go, I think it's going to be the Chiefs from the AFC and the Eagles from the NFC, and as long as those two teams make the playoffs, they're guaranteed to be on opposite sides of the bracket. But when it comes to college football, teams from the same league can be on the same side of the bracket, so it's almost impossible to predict who might play in a national title game because of that. Yeah, almost impossible. It won't let you enter. I don't know why. Just let everyone else enter. So I don't know. I mean, there's the link right there. I just posted it again. Miami and Notre Dame haven't played since 2017. Only 2 times since Notre Dame halfway joined the ACC. LSU got 4 losses coming. The LSU fans are going to be extremely upset if that happens. A lot of people, not just LSU fans, a lot of the Talking Head podcast crew and whatever you want to call them, the Joel Klatts and those type of people, a lot of people are high on LSU. I don't think Georgia's anywhere close to falling back into the wait till next year type of deal. I also think it's unrealistic to think that Georgia's just going to make the playoffs every single year from now to the end of time. Like, nobody's making the playoffs every single year from now to the end of time. I mean, 5 years ago, if I'd have told you, hey, in 2024, the playoffs are going to be expanded to 12 teams, and Bama's not going to get in. They won't even be one of the 12. You would have said I was out of my mind. You know, because Bama was such a dominant program in the 2010s. You would have said, oh, if they expand the playoffs to 12, Bama will get in every year. Well, no, they're not. And Georgia's not getting in every year, and Ohio State's not getting in every year, and Oregon and Texas. Now, right now, the majority of those teams look like they're going to get in more years than not. But, you know, there's also a difference if Georgia doesn't get in and is 9-3 versus Georgia didn't get in and they're 7-5. You know, that's a problem. There would be zero reason that Georgia would go. If Georgia goes 7-5, you're going to see the 2015 and 2016 version of Uncle Lou real quick. I'm willing to accept years where Georgia doesn't win a national title. I'm not an idiot that thinks Georgia's winning a natty every year. I accept last year. I'm not about to start accepting 7-5 seasons, though. You'll see me turn into the 2015, 2016 version of Uncle Lou real fucking quick if something like that were to happen. Real quick. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Uncle Lou. I have to ask the question because you said Clemson's year is just this year and they're going to fall off after this year. So what gives you that impression, or what do you have that
recruiting rankings and the fact that they don't use the portal? It's that simple. It's a talent issue. I mean, Clemson is recruiting in the 20s and 30s, dude. It's they are not recruiting
not lately.
Yes,
Not
lately.
lately?
Yes, lately. I mean, I can pull up
No,
the
I'm talking about if you looked at the recruits coming in, not only this coming year, but they're low numbers. But I'm saying next year there's been some high level recruit. Now you got to sign them, obviously.
Well,
But
you got to sign
they're
them, and then
coming
you got to
in.
wait 2 years for them to play. Like
Oh, yeah,
you're
I
not
know.
fielding a team full of freshmen because you had one good recruiting class and winning a natty. The
Oh, I
last
know,
3
I know.
years of Clemson recruiting have been in the toilet compared to the previous 10 years of Clemson recruiting. That's just a fact.
I'm not saying that the year after this year they're going to be great. I'm saying they're not going to fall off the cliff or anything. Is my point. With new coaching hires and the recruiting has picked back up, and he's using the portal now to fill in certain key spots. I think they'll be fine in over the next 3-4 years. I don't think they're going anywhere.
They finished 26th in the country in recruiting in the cycle that just ended. 26th.
No, 2026 is what I'm looking at, and going forward.
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with next year. You asked why
I
I
know,
think they're
I know.
falling
I'm
off
not
next
saying
year.
next
This is why. They just signed the 26th best class. The year before that, what was it? Let's look. 2024. 11.
Yeah.
2023. 11. 2022.
I'm
10.
not saying that they're in 2026 they're going to be good, because they certainly have a dip. But I'm pointing out that they're not going to go away in 2027, 2028, 2029. That's all. It's a little bit further horizon.
Well, they're not going to go away, but I mean, this is just something that me and you disagree on. I happen to think that if a team in a 6-year period goes from 0 losses to 1 loss to 2 losses to 3 losses to 3 losses again to then 4 losses to then 4 losses again last year, I happen to think that a 6-year period of time under the same head coach is a long enough sample size to judge a trajectory. And when I see a team, Clemson, under Dabo Swinney, that in the last 6 years has gone from no losses to 1 to 2 to 3 to 3 to 4 to 4, that tells me they're headed in the wrong direction. They've got a 3-game losing streak to the SEC.
But he also made some changes.
What was their best win last year? SMU?
Well, they made changes too. I mean, they did as well. I'm saying he did make changes. It's not like he's sitting still, not doing anything different. He's doing different. He's acting totally different now.
Well, he needed a tight end, and instead of going into the portal, he went and got somebody out of the basketball gym that hasn't played football in 5 years. Why?
He's just being opportunistic. We have 2 good tight ends.
He's being opportunistic. So instead of trying to win games, he's just being opportunistic and trying to give some poor kid a chance.
No, he could be. What he's going to do is use him as a basic utility player in certain situations. He's not going to use him as the main tight end. You know, he's probably going to use him in short yardage situations and use him mostly as a receiver. He's not going to use him as a blocking back. He's definitely not going to be using him as a primary tight end. That's clear. You can't learn football, the whole scheme in 4 months.
Well, he doesn't have 4 months. Practice doesn't start back till after July 4th. So
yeah, I know, but
he's going to have 3 weeks of practice with the team.
Yeah, even studying the plays, he ain't going to learn it. No, I'm just getting that. I think Dabo's made serious adjustments, and so I don't think it's going to be as dire as you make it sound.
Well, I don't think they're going to start winning 6 games a year. I mean, they're in the ACC, but 5 years ago they were the second best program in the country. Today, they're borderline top 10. Like they're clearly headed in the wrong direction over the last 5 years. I know you love Clemson and Pete loves Clemson, and there's no way to keep a straight face and not acknowledge that over the last 5 years, Clemson has regressed in a major way. They went from the second best program in the country, the only program in the country that could consistently beat Nick Saban. Not Georgia, not Kirby, not Ohio State, not Michigan, not Texas. Clemson was the only program in the country in 2020 that you could look at and go, they can beat Bama. Now, I'd have to rank the programs top to bottom, but Clemson's not in the top 10.
No, I agree with you on that. I think that they have fallen off, and I think that that's part of the charm of it all. I mean, for me, it's watching somebody wake up and go and change direction and bring it back to where it was. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying he can't turn it around. And look, no team stays dominant forever. Like, okay, I just made the example of you being the only team that could compete with Bama. Bama's not the top program in the country anymore either. Like, they're not top 5 right now.
Yeah.
So, like, nobody stays on the top forever. And just like I don't think Bama's going to start winning 4 games a year, I don't think Clemson's going to start winning 4 games a year. But, like, it hasn't been a good 5 or 6 year period compared to the previous 5. Clemson has been fine. I mean, they're winning 9 games a year, 10 games a year. Like, they're not Florida. They're not Tennessee. You know, they're not drowning in their own misery like that. But it's just to go from where they were to where they are now without a head coaching change, you don't see that very often.
Yeah, I know that they've been down. I mean, anybody doesn't see it's fool. So it's definitely gone downhill, and that's because Dabo was stubborn and he made stupid hires, and all those things go into it. I just think he's reversed a lot of that. He's almost done a 180, and to me that's hopeful for not sitting where we were. Now, will we win the Natty? Probably not, but at least I think we're in a better spot.
I'll say this too: when they finally finalize this house settlement deal, the lawsuit, when it finally gets the stamp of approval from the judge that seems to be sitting on our hands, that's going to help not only Clemson but all the other teams in the country that cannot keep up with Ohio State and Texas.
Right.
I mean, Georgia can't, Bama can't, nobody can. Ohio State and Texas, maybe Oregon. And I'm talking about what
Nike money.
what you're willing to pay your
Yeah.
players in a 1 year period. Teams can't keep up with that. So when they get that settled and they get a salary cap, like that will help, not just because Dabo, like you said, could do a complete 180 on NIL and portal and all that. He still can't buy what Ohio State and Texas can buy. And by the way, neither can Georgia, neither can Bama. There's a lot of teams that can't. Texas, Ohio State, and Oregon, to me, are at the top of the NIL mountain.
But let's be honest too. I mean, NIL opened the floodgates, but they were still buying those players over us before too. I mean, we still were good, and we weren't able to buy them then either. So it's just under the table. But that being said, as long as you get close enough and you have a good staff, and that's critical. If you don't have a good staff, and that's where we fell down, you can't even have a chance to be good.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, it's not going to fall completely off the cliff. It's not going to be good after this year because we, like you said, we've been recruiting poorly and we got some bad genetics in there now. So it'll have to take 3 seasons before we get back to being competitive in that regard again. But this year it looks good. All the chips fell into place somehow, and the luck smiled on us. But at the same time, I don't think we're going anywhere in the next 5-8 years. I mean, we'll be around. We'll be there.
and look, like Clemson could make the playoffs this year, next year, the year after.
Because we're in the ACC.
And it still won't necessarily change my mind. Like, they wouldn't have made a 4-team playoff last year. You know, they only made the playoffs last year because of the expansion. Now, a lot of teams, 8 teams only made the playoffs last year because of expansion. That's not just a Clemson thing. You go from 4 to 12. But, you know, anyway.
I almost didn't want to be in the playoffs last year. I felt like we didn't deserve it.
I remember. You straight up said it. Yeah, I remember.
So,
yeah.
But that being said, I do expect that Georgia's not going anywhere either. And I honestly just think it's going to get a top 20 is going to stay kind of where it is. There'll be some new teams here and there, but they're not going to be like, we're not going to see a wholesale change anytime soon.
Right.
Those teams are going to be in the top 20 almost year in and year out.
Yeah.
At least before I die anyway. Which is probably next week.
Man, come on, wait. No, you gotta stay alive for at least one more January trip to Vegas. Those are the rules.
Oh, yeah.
You're not allowed to die before our next Vegas trip.
No, that and the slobs. Between those two, yes.
Yeah. All right, Slaw. Thanks for the call, buddy. Man. Yeah, good to hear from you. By the way, I'm not putting down Texas, Ohio State, and Oregon either. I wish Georgia was that. Like, I'm not putting it down. They're playing within the rules. They're not doing anything wrong. They're better at the rules right now than everybody else is. I mean, that doesn't mean those 3 teams are going to win the Natty every single year, but they've got an advantage right now, I think, that other teams don't have. That's just, I mean, y'all seen the reports of what Texas is paying this year's team, hadn't you? Remember last year the reports were that Ohio State was paying $20 million for that team last year, and we couldn't believe it. We were like, holy shit, $20 million. If the reports are true about Texas, they're paying $35 to $40 million for this year's team. And again, they're not doing anything wrong. Them's the rules. I mean, I'm not accusing them of cheating or doing anything wrong. It's no different than 10 years ago or 8 years ago or 7 years ago when Georgia had a recruiting budget of $3 million and South Carolina had a recruiting budget of $500,000. Georgia wasn't doing anything wrong. They had more money to fund their recruiting budget than South Carolina did. It's just a fact. Georgia wasn't doing anything wrong by spending $3 million on their recruiting budget. But, you know, they could buying helicopters and private planes and whatever other shit they were doing. It's no different. It's no different. So they're, you know, the Texases, the Oregons, the Ohio States, these teams that are swimming in money, they're not doing anything wrong. They're playing the same game everybody else is playing. They're just better at it. They're just better at it. The Knicks did win. I'm happy to report. The Knicks did win. So that's some good news. Finally, we hit something there. All right. Let's see who's up. Bryce, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Glad you could let one of us freeloaders on, you know?
Yeah.
But I thought I'd just call in, and I don't think I've heard you talk about it. What do you think about Lane Kiffin going on the damn Theo Vaughn podcast?
I'm not subscribed to a single podcast, not because I have
I didn't
anything
watch
against
it.
Theo Vaughn,
but
so I don't know. I don't listen to podcasts. Now I see clips of podcasts that get posted other places. So I think I might have saw a clip or two of Lane Kiffin on there, but I didn't see enough of it I really don't have anything to say about it.
Yeah, no, I just was wondering, like, what do you think about, like, you think it's like for recruiting, or is that the new way? Are we finna see Kirby Smart on there next?
I doubt you'll see Kirby Smart. I mean, Lane Kiffin's always been kind of more into the social media stuff, going back to some of the stuff he used to post on Twitter than a lot of other college football coaches you'll see. But I don't think it's a terrible idea. Now, I don't know what he said on there, so I'm not giving an opinion on anything he said on there. But the idea of going on a podcast is probably not a terrible idea for an Ole Miss coach. Now, would North Carolina want Bill Belichick to do that? No. No.
Well, Jordan would be on there.
Right. She's in charge.
But, I also wanted to ask you about Tennessee. Boy, they lost a safety, didn't they?
Yeah, lost a safety. Starting safety, yep.
They're down bad.
I think he signed with Miami or committed to Miami, I think.
Oof.
Yeah. So
Miami's starting to look a little good now, aren't they?
Well, they've been looking good for a while, but I got to see it defensively before I completely believe it. But if the defense can get right, they got a chance to make the playoffs.
Well, I wanted to swap it up a little bit. I have a thing of 5 things that I hate, and I was hoping that you would let me spill them out tonight. Philosophers.
Dang.
QR codes. People who say the outside lane is the fastest lane on the interstate. People who name their child Bo and spell it B-E-A-U. Mechanical pencil sharpeners that break the lead when you have it perfectly sharpened.
There's probably a lot of people watching that don't even know what a pencil sharpener is. Depending on how
the one where you had to go wind it up.
Yeah, that was when I was in school. That's what it was. It was screwed into the wall, and you'd have to go up there and stick the pencil in one end and wind the other end. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'd have to empty it out and dump all the shavings out.
Yep. God. Yeah. My kids wouldn't know what that. If they saw one of those nailed to a wall somewhere, they'd have no idea what it was. No clue.
Yeah, I think I hit it, Justin. I was at that mark where we still had them, but they were going out of style, but they were still there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just wanted to call in and give you a laugh.
All right, Bryce. Thanks for calling in, man. It's good to hear from you. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Oh, what's up, man?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's the frequency, Kenneth?
Well, I'm actually a South Carolina fan, but I'm actually living out in Brazil for the past 9 years, so I just need somebody to talk to college football.
I hear you. How'd you end up in Brazil? If you don't,
my wife is from here.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so I'm teaching music out here, elementary music out in Brazil.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, gigantic South Carolina fan, man. I like your content, by the way.
Thank you.
I check you out all the time. I gotta hear what you think about old Urkel, man.
I'm high. I'm too high. I think he's top 2-3 quarterbacks in the SEC heading into the season. Now, you have to put an asterisk by that. There's a lot of new quarterbacks in the SEC, and a lot of them have a lot of potential, and they play on very talented teams. So, like Arch Manning's not a returning quarterback. He could have a great year there. Gunnar Stockton, I don't know on him. Alabama's got a new quarterback. Tennessee's got a new quarterback. Lagway's like halfway a returning quarterback, but it pretty much comes down to Nussmeier and Sellers. in the SEC in terms
Yeah.
of high-level returning QBs. And if you want to include Lagway in there with his 6 starts and 12 interceptions, the Florida fan can do that if they want. But I'm high on him, and I like the style of football he plays. I like what he can do with his legs. I don't have any concerns about Lenore Sellers, and I think Nicholas Harbor is going to have a season that's going to get him drafted in the first round. I think he's fixing to go nuts. He's a physical freak. He technically plays tight end, but you can split him out like a wide receiver. He'll be the fastest guy on the field in every game that he plays in. And he quit track, which is great for South Carolina football because track season occurs the same time as spring practice occurs. So he's been splitting time every spring between track and football. This year, he's been all in on football, and that can only make him better.
He was just borderline Olympian, but like that Usain Bolt genetics to be 6'5" and that fast.
Unbelievable.
It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it seems unfair. It seems unfair. But so I think he's set for a breakout year. Now, Carolina's got some obvious question marks to answer. They got to replace some running backs. They lost a lot on defense. But I mean, I have them ranked in the top 15 preseason.
I saw that. I respect it. I just don't think I think we're a borderline playoff team, but I think I don't like the offensive line coach they got. I don't think that if they're going to make any kind of serious move with that guy, it's just not going to work. I think the defensive coordinator is actually really good. He's developed a lot of like D3 guys into D1 guys. He took Kyle Kennard last year out of Georgia Tech. He was good, turned elite. Demetrius Knight out of Charlotte. All these schools nobody's ever heard of. Turn them into NFL players. And then, like, we had the 2 defensive linemen drafted. They were 3-star recruits. Nicky Manwari out of the second round was a 3-star recruit with no offers. So, like, I think they do develop guys there, but I want them to win. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I just wanted to beat the shit out of Clemson. But
they've got 5 games to figure it out because I don't see a loss in the first 5 games. Virginia Tech, South Carolina State, Vanderbilt, Missouri, and Kentucky. Those should be 5 wins. So that should, some confidence. The new guys, sort of you play almost half your season there with no losses, I think, and then a bye week, and then it's a whole lot tougher after that. I mean, the next 4 games at LSU, home against Oklahoma, home against Bama, at Ole Miss. They got to go 2-2.
Yeah.
If they go 2-2 in these 4 games,
they should beat Alabama at home. They barely lost last year to a better team.
They should beat Oklahoma at home for sure. If I had to rank the wins, Oklahoma I think is the least difficult. At Ole Miss, I think, is the next least difficult. Then home against Bama, and then on the road at LSU, I think is going to be really tough. Now, you get a bye week before that one, so a couple extra weeks to prepare. Maybe that is the extra edge they need. And then the last 3 games, Texas A&M, Coastal Carolina, and Clemson. If they go 2-2 in between these bye weeks, and they somehow find a way to win on the road at Texas A&M, this is going to become the biggest South Carolina-Clemson game of all time for South Carolina. Yeah. Because a trip to the playoffs will be on the line in that game.
Yeah, like where we actually get something out of it. Because even like in the early 2010s, man, when we were like really good teams, we never were going to make a BCS game.
Right. Man,
just didn't work it out.
Can y'all imagine?
But we could beat the shit out of Clemson.
Can y'all imagine if South Carolina is 9-2 when they play Clemson at home?
Yeah.
Williams-Brice Stadium is nuts when y'all are 2-10.
Yeah.
That place might explode if South Carolina is 9-2 when they play Clemson at the end of the year.
Yeah. And the last time we had a big streak against them started in an away game. So, we beat them last year. I want to beat the shit out of Clemson. I hate that fucking school.
Yeah. Well, the problem is you beat them twice the last 3 years, but the South Carolina fans haven't got to enjoy it really because it's been at Clemson both times. You got to beat them at home now.
Yeah. And just not being able to follow up with a bowl win in the last couple of years too. It's just been, I feel like we're almost there. I really like Beamer. There's not a lot of guys that really want to be at South Carolina, and he actually does. And I I think sometimes it gets kind of, people don't really give him the respect he deserves, because like the mistakes you make at South Carolina are going to be super glaring, because like it's not really meant for you to win a whole bunch of games there. You know, they're never going to really get like the supreme talent like the other schools. Even when Spurrier was there, he didn't really get what he had 2 5-star recruits in 12 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think he's doing a lot of good there.
And you know
he's the guy
well,
for the job.
Well, and you know who recruited those 2 5-stars, don't you?
Yeah, Shane Beamer.
Shane Beamer, yeah.
Yeah. And he flipped Alshon Jeffrey from Southern California when he was out there too. You know, he knows what he's doing.
Shane Beamer's the best recruiter South Carolina's ever had 10, 12 years
oh, yeah,
ago.
Yeah.
Spurrier, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And
sure.
he wants to be there for life. They shouldn't fire him. I think they should treat.
No.
He should be like his dad. He should be there till he's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, he's exceeded the Vegas. He's exceeded the offseason win total 3 of the 4 years that he's been there.
Yeah.
So he's overachieved 3 out of the 4 years he's been there, and that's hard to do anywhere. It's really hard to do at South Carolina. He's done it 3 out of the 4 years.
Yeah.
Beat Clemson 2 out of the last 3. I mean, they ought to be giving him. They ought to be trying to lock him up. There ought to be no talk about getting rid of Shane Beamer right now. None.
Yeah, you talked about guys getting, you know, what Billy Napier getting $2 million a win, and if Beamer won 9 games last year, is getting paid 6. So
yeah, so he's getting $500,000 per win.
Florida can go on and keep him. I know we've lost to Florida, which is inexcusable, especially with old dummy Billy Air. But you know, shit, I would take him over Billy Napier any day.
Yeah, I hear you. Look. I don't know how long you've been watching the channel. I live in Augusta, Georgia, which is on the border of South Carolina. I absolutely hate South Carolina. When I grew up, there was a ton of South Carolina fans that I sort of grew up with that lived right across the river there, and so that was the biggest game of the year to us every year was the Georgia South Carolina game, because I lived and was friends with a lot of South Carolina people. So I grew up
border bash, right?
Kind of hating them. Yeah, they had the border bash here. I went every year. I mean, it was awesome. So I hate that Georgia and South Carolina aren't playing every year anymore because I enjoyed that game so much. But I'm kind of glad they're not playing right now because I hate losing to them. And I don't know that they would beat Georgia, but you know, they're better right now than they've been in a while.
Yeah, and I don't think we would have beat you guys last year. I think you guys were it was just a level above, even though you weren't as good as the previous 2 years where, you know, we didn't have a chance in hell.
Yeah.
But this year, I would feel a lot more confident. But like I said, you know, if we get a real offensive line coach, I think we're going to be winning, you know.
And you know,
9 games.
Kirby has had some struggles with running QBs, so like Lenore Sellers might go. Look at what fucking Haynes King did to Georgia. Can you imagine what Urkel would do? Holy shit!
Oh god, yeah. DeCarrion Joyner with Muschamp.
Yeah,
Muschamp, sorry as hell as a head coach, but you know, put that kid in and then didn't use him the rest of his time.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, man. I'll try to call in more often, man.
Yeah,
I know how to get on here, man.
Yeah. Good to hear from you, man. Good luck to South Carolina this year, and thank you again for taking the time to call in. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, morning, Lou. All that South Carolina talk, I was like, yep, I think they're getting better. I think you've got 2 programs in the state of South Carolina going in different directions, but it's like a toothache. In Pickens County because you don't feel it until it's too late.
Oh, boy.
I mean, that's just my opinion. But I got to ask a question. You know, Ohio State. I know where Texas gets its money, but where does Ohio State get its money?
Well, they have 85,000 students a year, which means about 20,000 a year are graduate. In other words, they've got the biggest alumni base on the planet. So. They don't really need corporate money. Now, they probably get some. I don't know what businesses are headquartered in Ohio and all this kind of, like with, you know, where you got Oregon has Nike or whatever. Georgia's got Delta and Coke. But Ohio State's got the biggest alumni base on the planet. They've got 80,000 students a year go there. So you got to figure some drop out, but you got 20,000 students a year graduating for the last 50 years. They have a huge alumni base, and so my guess would be that's where the majority of their NIL money comes from, is from individual donations as opposed to like big corporate checks.
That's absolutely incredible. To zoom out a little on your fix for college football, that video, you were talking about a roundtable. How's the plans for that going, or is that?
I don't have any. I need to put that together. I want to get people from all 4 conferences to do it, because I don't want it to be like all SEC people that think the SEC should get 6 teams into the playoffs every year, which I don't think that, but a lot of them do. So, if it's 4 people, it's got to be 1 from each conference, or if it's 8, we do 2 from each conference. And now Notre Dame's not included, because Notre Dame's not included in my.
You don't make a special exemption and invite a Notre Dame fan?
No, the only way to get into the playoffs in the Uncle Lou model is to be in a conference. If you're not in a conference, you've got no opportunity to make the playoff.
I know. I was punching the air so hard when I viewed that part of the video. It was like, yes,
yeah,
damn it, finally. Another question is speaking of the Golden Domers, is the ACC better off with or without this Notre Dame situation the way it is now?
I think the ACC. Would the ACC be better off if Notre Dame joined the ACC?
Oh, I know they would.
Yeah,
but the situation as it stands now, I think it just muddies the waters. I'm like, either get in or get out.
Oh, yeah, and that's all the fault of the ACC office. First of all, they never should have agreed to let Notre Dame play 5 ACC teams a year. During COVID, they should have told Notre Dame to go fuck themselves. That was the best opportunity anyone has ever had to force Notre Dame to join a conference was COVID, and the ACC rolled over like a dead dog. It's embarrassing. I mean, the ACC literally walked up to Notre Dame, turned around, bent over, and spread their asshole open for Notre Dame during COVID. It's embarrassing what the ACC did. All these Florida State and Clemson suing the ACC for TV money, they should just be suing the ACC for utter incompetence.
I said they should sue Swofford, the former commissioner, when he made that deal. I argued with several other football fans going, he just Big Easted the ACC.
Yeah.
He gave everything away, which is all of the, what people like to call Olympic sports. I prefer to call them non-revenue sports. And then said, oh yeah, we'll take five games of your choosing after you set up your schedule. No, thanks. See you later. Because that was going to be my last question: is FSU still in the ACC? And you already answered that. I don't see.
Well, they're leaving tomorrow.
If I'm FSU or Clemson right now, I'm like, we're not leaving this conference. This is the easiest path to the playoff.
Yeah. Well, they're worried about 2 things. They're worried about long-term revenue, mainly TV revenue, and number 2, they're worried about the push that the SEC and the Big Ten are making to marginalize the ACC and the Big 12 in terms of a postseason, which I completely disagree with. And I made that completely known in that video that I think it's insanity to blindly guarantee the SEC and the Big 10 4 playoff spots apiece and blindly guarantee the ACC and the Big 12 2. If there's going to be guaranteed playoff spots, they should be equal. No one cares that the 13th best team in the NFC might be better than the 7th best team in the AFC. They don't go around changing the number of teams that get into the NFL playoffs from each conference every single year based on which conference some group of people thinks was better. It's insanity. It's complete insanity.
Absolutely crazy.
And we talk about Josh Pate a lot around here.
Oh yeah,
he's part of the problem when it comes to this thing. He thinks the SEC should get 13 teams into a 12-team playoff. It doesn't make any sense, and he won't stop with the Vegas odds. And look, I love to gamble, okay? Vegas odds should not determine who gets into the playoffs. It's insanity. It doesn't matter that Alabama would be favored against Penn State on a neutral field or whatever. They were favored against Vandy, and they lost. I mean, He cries about the postseason ruining the regular season, and then he wants to make the entire regular season completely meaningless by just letting Vegas odds determine who gets into a postseason. It's
See,
insanity.
that's what I thought about your fix. Is your fix makes the regular season every week is you're either playing your rival or you're playing a conference game.
Yeah, and the only way you've got no chance to make the playoffs at the end of the regular season is if you are ranked 8th or worse in your own conference. Even the 7th team in a conference has a chance to get in by winning one game on conference championship weekend. So if the 7th best team, like Josh Pate always says, really did just have a really hard schedule and is better than the 3rd team, it's just that the 3rd team had an easier schedule, well, then guess what? The 7th place team should have no problem beating the 4th ranked team to get into the playoffs then. So let them prove it on the field.
How does this get in front of the powers that be? I mean, because this feeds their insatiable need for money as well. I'm like, this answers the call. You get home games, you get matchups, you get ESPN or Fox. You can split this, and everybody's going to get good TV.
Yeah.
I just don't know why the people who are actually in charge don't go, because now they're going to, right after this season, they're going to go and talk about going to 14, and there's going to be this, and I'm like, here's the deal. It's not. I've often said to athletic directors, it's not your job to prop up the athletic budgets of 1AA schools.
Right.
You can tell how old I am because I don't call it FBS, FSC, or FSU. They're damn acronyms to me. I'm like, look, the reason you got to be undefeated.
I even tried to find a solution to that problem with the preseason game deal where, because Kirby Smart says that all the time. Well, if we quit playing these group of fives or FCSs, then a lot of them would have to fold up because without the money they make from playing us, they wouldn't be able to financially survive. Okay, great. Then pay them $1 million to come play a preseason game in Athens. Pay Mercer $1 million. Pay Georgia Southern $1 million. Bama can pay UAB. Auburn can pay South Alabama. South Carolina can pay the Citadel. Clemson can pay South Carolina State $1 million to come play a preseason game in the middle of August. If that's really what it's about, is, we love these lower level programs and we don't want to see them go away, that's why we schedule them. Fine. Schedule them in the middle of August. It's a preseason game and pay them and give them $1 million.
Does that preseason game, whether officially or not, does it impact like another preseason poll that comes out? Let's say, for example, the team struggles.
But preseason polls are irrelevant because in my model, you get into the playoffs based on how you finish in your conference, not any polling. There's no polling involved in the playoff selection. No polling at all. No polling, no committee, nothing.
What I'd like to hear from that roundtable is, how do you set up the tiebreakers? Because I would want the tiebreakers to be the same in all 4 conferences.
Yeah.
So there's not this difference, whether it's the Big Ten and the SEC, that all 4 conferences apply the same rules in terms of determining, like, if they have the same number of wins, is it wins against ranked competition? Is it wins in the conference against the same competition? Because you just can't play everybody.
Right. You'd have to.
I like your solution.
You'd have to figure all that out because there would be some cases where it came down to the 4th, 5th, or 6th tiebreakers because there are so many teams in these leagues. You're gonna have teams at the end of the year that are. You're going to have 4 teams that are 9-3, or 3 teams that are 10-2, or whatever it is, and so you're going to have a 4th, a 5th, a 6th tiebreaker in some instances to figure out the final conference standings. So yeah, all that would have to be figured out.
Yeah, I think that's where a roundtable really would. That's where the discussion really starts to happen, because if you're balancing the money, or at least the legal money, air quotes, at $20 million a school, and then or as your video says, as the revenue goes up so does that salary cap, because that's what it is, really. It's a salary cap.
Yeah.
And they do need to be employees. As you said, I have thought they needed to be employees for decades. I'm like, these players, for example, I have always, when I see the public service announcements, say for Georgia, Clemson, South Carolina, I'm like, these schools couldn't afford to buy that advertising. And the funny thing is, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but in the last several years, I've noticed that Notre Dame gets multiple public service announcements, not just one per half.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, this type of stuff's got to stop. It's like, either everybody gets 3 or 4, or everybody just gets 2, because we need that other State Farm commercial to help pay these TV revenues.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yep, I appreciate the time.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah,
I
good
really
call.
do appreciate the content.
Yeah, great call. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, what's going on, Lou?
What's up, buddy?
Okay, so on Instagram, I follow this big college football account, and today they post. Oh, can you still hear me now?
Yeah, you dropped out. I hear you now, though.
Yeah, I tried to go into the app to look at it, but I don't guess I can. But anyways, today they made a post, and they were giving their predictions on who they think the highest rated players in the new football game would be. CFB 26, I guess it'll be. I just want to get your take on some of these, because I think some of these are atrocious.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, they think Jeremiah Smith's going to be the first 100 overall player. Would you agree with that?
I don't know enough about the game to say that, but I think he'll be. I would think he would be a 99.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that too. So, so here's a couple of the quarterbacks. I want you to hear me out. Look, you know I'm not a Georgia fan. I'm not a Miami fan. So, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Carson Beck is. I think he has the potential to be a top 3 quarterback in the country. I mean, I'm sure you probably agree with me. You got to watch him for 2 seasons, however long it was. But they have Carson Beck rated as an 85. And I thought that was pretty low when you hear some of these names I'm about to call out to you. Like Lenore Sellers, they have him projected at a 94 overall. Is that ridiculous, or am I losing my mind?
Well, first of all, let me say I'm no expert on the college football video game ratings system, but I would assume, for example, Carson Beck's things like speed, running, agility is going to be really low on Carson Beck and really high on Lenore Sellers. Maybe that's propping up his overall rating. Again, I don't know how all that works. But if Lenore Sellers has a higher accuracy rating or passing strength rating than Carson Beck, that's retarded. So how all those numbers get calculated to come up with the total overall rating of the player, I don't know. But Lenore Sellers should have a higher speed, agility, and running rating. Carson Beck should have a higher throwing accuracy and throwing strength and pocket awareness and shit like that. But I don't know how much of that goes into the overall rating. That does see Lenore Sellers at a 94 and Beck at an 85.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous, man. What's up with that? That's not real life, is it?
It seems like they should be closer together than that. I mean, I don't know if they're factoring in his injury. I mean, I don't know what they're looking at there, but it seems like they should be closer than that. Yeah, I think Carson Beck's really good.
I mean, I know Beck had that little slump last year where he was throwing all them interceptions, and I heard all you had to say about it, as well as everybody else, I guess. But I mean, I checked his stats, man. 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, 12 picks. That's really not a bad ratio. If you just say it out loud.
Yeah,
but,
and that's with having 3 of the top 10 wide receivers in terms of dropped passes. So
yeah, I remember that being an issue too, because you always pointed that out.
Would have been even higher. Now his interceptions were unacceptable. That should never happen from a second-year starter who's been in the program for 4 years. That little 5-game stretch in the middle of the season where he kept turning the ball over. I don't know if it was something outside his relationship with that girl or whatever that was. I don't know what was going on, because he didn't have those problems last year. He didn't have those problems after that 5-game stretch where he threw all those interceptions. So I'm not dismissing it. It was a huge problem. And like you said, I spent 5 weeks telling him he needs to get his shit together. And I was beyond mad about it. He just dropped off. Thank you for the call, buddy. Thank you for the call. But I do think Carson Beck's a good quarterback. Yes. Can he run around? No. Can he do what Lenore Sellers does from the waist down? No. But Lenore Sellers ain't in his universe when it comes to just throwing the football. Now, there's a lot more that goes into quarterback than just throwing the football. But so again, talking about video game ratings, if I were to find out that Lenore Sellers has a higher, accuracy or passing strength or something rating than Carson Beck, that clearly would just be ridiculous. Clearly would be ridiculous. All right, nobody else is waiting on hold. Give me a minute or two. I got to pee. I'm about to pee in my pants here. I drank too much coffee and water, and I will come back and we'll read some comments from the chat. So give me just a couple of minutes here.
Walk it out, now hit the dance floor. Hey, bend your back low. She do it with no hands. Now stop, pop and roll. I'm smoking bubble. Yeah, they in trouble. I like the way she move. Undercover. Now everybody leaning. I make the crowd rock. Now go and walk it out. I see they on my job. She want that bubble gum. Is they the double mint? Two shooting me, so I know that I'ma win. It's on once again. Patron once again. I threw my head back, then I froze like the wind. West side walk it out, south side walk it out, east side walk it out, north side walk it out. Now walk it out, 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 now walk it out. Now west side walk it out, south side walk it out, east side walk it out, north side walk it out. Now walk it out, 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 now walk it out. Now west side walk it out, south side walk it out, east side walk it out.
It's 50, aka Ferrari F50. Break it down.
Y'all want me to do it? Y'all want me to do it?
Let's make it. You say you a gangster, but you never pop nothing. You say you a wankster, and you need to stop fronting. You ain't a friend of mine, you ain't no kin of mine. What makes you think that I won't run up on you with the nine? We do this all the time.
Does Lou have a day? Yeah, I have a day job. I make college football videos during the day.
I gotta make a mind.
Some of them are even watchable.
One of a kind. I crush them every time. Punch them with every line. I'm with their mind. I make them press rewind. They know they can't shine if I'm around the rhyme. Been on Perusers 94 cause I commit.
All right. Let's get serious here. This is a college football show. This is a college football show. Kyle, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in here, man. He says, go Noles. Been drinking, but if we win at least 4 games, I'm spamming this page with the we're back. Yeah. I think they'll win more than 4, less than 9. I don't think that 2-10 season can be turned around in 1 year in terms of getting back to, top 15 or top 20 or anything like that. But I'd be absolutely shocked. They'll probably be one of the most improved teams in the country in terms of overall record, just because their record was so bad last year. It's almost impossible for them not to improve quite a bit. Yeah. Thank you, Kyle, for hitting the super chat, buddy. I appreciate that. Isaac says, for the gorilla, you could smear poop on your finger and give the gorilla pink eye. Slaw has a super chat. I want to see more thumbs up. Yeah, y'all hit the thumbs up if you hadn't already. Hit the thumbs up if you hadn't already. I heard Lou was a 6th grade geography teacher during the day. I was an education major. Well, I was an education. I minored in education for 2 semesters in college. I got to the point where you had to start doing student teaching, and right away I said, yeah, this ain't for me. I can't deal with this. I was a history major is what it was. And what job are you going to get with a history major? So I said, well, I can minor in education, teach high school history and coach football. It got to the part where you had to do the student teaching shit. It took me about a week of doing that to decide, yeah, this isn't going to end well. I need to. There's no way. There's no way. No way. Is college football going in the right or wrong direction? I mean, I think there are some areas where college football has improved. There's obviously some areas where I wouldn't mind turning back the clock, but you can't turn back the clock. So it's almost pointless to even talk about it. It's not going backwards. So, the best we can hope for is that whatever changes they make now don't drive people further away. What grade did your student teach? Middle school. I don't remember what grade it was, but it was a middle school. I don't think 100 men would stand a chance, Howie. I don't. A gorilla can rip your arm off, like literally rip it off of your torso. A gorilla can smash your skull with one hand. The PSI in a gorilla, he could bite your head off. The PSI in their grip and their bite, their bones are 3 times thicker and 3 times denser than human bone. You can't break you can't break his leg or his arm. There's nothing, you can't damage it. His skin is 3 times thicker. You can't bite through his skin. I don't know what one human or 100 humans could do to a gorilla to even harm it in any way in hand-to-hand combat. There's a reason man developed weapons, and one of those reasons is so they stopped getting their ass beat by gorillas and tigers and whatever else it was that was chasing them around the jungle a million years ago. Milk is Khan. What's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. What else? What else y'all got? Lou, you need to watch Havoc. I don't even know what that is. What is a movie, TV show? What? Tennessee 6-6 disaster in 2025. I doubt it. It would be funny, but you gotta find 6 losses on here. They obviously could lose to Georgia. They obviously could lose to Bama. Even if they then lose to Oklahoma and Florida, that's 4 losses. You got to find 2 more. Well, they'd have to lose to Syracuse to go 6-6, and then they'd probably have to lose to either Arkansas, Kentucky, or Vandy, on top of all those other teams we just named. So I don't see a 6-6 season there. I don't go to games. I work every weekend. The Clippers are up 3 over the Nuggets, 48-45. 3 minutes to go in the first half. I've got the Clippers in that one. Jake Merklinger looks very good, way better than Nico. First of all, you've never seen Jake Merklinger play, so you don't know that. And number two, you never said that one day in your life until Nico left. Top 3 teams as of today. Well, there's the top 25 right there. There's the top 25 right there. Baylor snoobed. Not sure what snoobed means. Yeah, Drew Aller still at Penn State. Both their running backs opted to come back instead of entering the draft. They do lose Abdul Carter, which they cannot replace. He was one of the best defensive players in the country last year, but defense has not really been a problem for Penn State, even when they're busy losing to Ohio State every year. Ohio State struggles to score 20 against them every time they play. And they got Jim Knowles, the best defensive coordinator in the country. They got a 1,000-yard receiver from Syracuse. Well, almost 1,000. I think he had 900 and something yards receiving last year at Syracuse. They got him out of the portal, Trevor Pena. I think Penn State will be good again. Lou, you have a lot of taters on your channel. They seem to be your closest comrades. Do they have good-looking Asian wives or something? Well, the tater that called in doesn't have a wife at all. Pete's got a good-looking wife, but she's American. I don't know about anyone's, any of the other tater fans' wife situations. It's a waste of a roster spot, Mio. You're limited to 105 players now. Y'all know that, right? You can't have 50 walk-ons and shit like you used to. You're limited to 105 players total now. So to waste one of those 105 spots on a guy that hasn't played football in 5 years because you feel sorry for him because he ran out of basketball eligibility is ridiculous. And he won't be any good. He'll probably never play. It's just a typical Dabo thing where he goes into the basketball gym and picks a random white guy and gives him a football helmet for no reason. It's just a complete waste. Oklahoma man, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, how many wins would it take for Oklahoma to appear in my top 25? They're 8 wins away from being in my top 25. If they go 8-4, I'm positive they'll be ranked. It's a brand new movie on Netflix called the Havoc movie you're talking about. I'll check it out. Right now I'm watching Succession. But maybe when I finish this season of Succession, I'll check that out. There's only two things that come out of Champaign, Illinois: the University of Illinois and REO Speedwagon. I didn't know REO Speedwagon was from there. Over or under Nico throwing for 3,300 yards? Boy. Here's the... oh, man. Cal's not going to be very good. I mean, UCLA is not going to be very good. They're going to be trailing in a lot of their games, so I do think he'll have to throw it a lot. I guess I'm going to take the under, but that's a tough one. But yeah, I'll take the under. Have you watched Kingdom from Heaven? No, I never heard of that either. Do you like Ty Simpson? Well, I don't like him or dislike him. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a great quarterback. I think he's a one-year starter, and then I think Keelan Russell takes over. And if Bama loses if Bama plays themselves out of the playoffs at some point this season, Keelan Russell could take over this season. He may take over this season anyway, Keelan Russell. But I do think Ty Simpson will be the starter for Alabama against Florida State in week 1. How long he stays the starter, I'm not sure, but I think 1 year at the most, and then it'll be Keelan Russell's job after that. No, I don't know what hotel we're staying at yet for the Slob Olympics. I think we're just going to pick. Well, look, here's the deal. It's going to be expensive. There's nothing we can do about it. It's Nashville, and it's the weekend of the SEC conference tournament in basketball. And we're staying downtown. We're not staying on the outskirts somewhere. That defeats the whole purpose. So we're just, normally we look around and try to find a decent hotel for a decent price and all that. That's just not happening. So we're just going to pick a hotel, and I'm just telling you it's going to be $250 a night probably. Now, that doesn't mean you have to stay there. Anybody that comes to the Slob Olympics, you can stay anywhere you want, and the Slob Olympics will be Saturday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning at whatever park or whatever, and you just have to be at that park Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. But we always pick a hotel, and a lot of us stay at the same hotel because it's just fun to all be at the same hotel and hang out and walk to dinner and walk to the bars or whatever else. No, I'm not rich, no. Austin, thank you for the super chat. He says, what about some of your favorite college football helmets, traditional wise? I like Ohio State with full stickers is the best. Man, I'm picky about helmets. This helmet collection here, I'd have to dig through it to find my favorites. I like a lot of the alternate helmets. I like matte black helmets. Define rich. I think anybody making over $250,000 a year is pretty. If that's not rich, it's got to be close. Wealthy's a whole nother level. on top of rich. I'm definitely not wealthy. If you make 150K after taxes, you're rich. Well, that would be about 250,000 a year, yeah. If you make 250,000 a year, you're going to be paying close to $100,000 a year in taxes, unless you do some creative accounting. No income taxes? That's not happening, buddy. That's not happening. I saw some Florida fans cussing you out on Twitter. There's always somebody cussing me out somewhere. So I wouldn't doubt it. I think 100K is pretty good if you're single and in a low cost of living area. If you make $100,000 a year, you're in the top 1% of income earners in the United States. ESPN has an open position since Shannon Sharpe is gone. I don't have any interest in going backwards. TV is a dying medium. Pete says rich is over 500,000 a year annually, and wealthy is 20 million or more. Yeah, well, I'm definitely nowhere near either one of those then. Are you reclaiming the Slav Olympics again this year, Lou? I never plan on winning the Slav Olympics. So, no. I won it once. That's good enough for me. Would Saban have won the Natty with Tennessee's 2022 team? No. No. To be considered rich in America, need to be in the top 5%. That equals to 400,000 annually. I don't know. I've always heard that 1% of people make 100. Now that might be for a family to make 400,000 combined. I don't know. I've always heard that if you make $100,000 or more, that's the top 1% of income earners. Pete won the one we just had. Well, it was a team competition, but Team Pete was the winner. So, yeah, Pete won it this year. You should make a 10 most hated teams list. Well, I don't hate any teams. I just laugh and make fun of whoever loses, whether it's Georgia or whoever it is. As far as who people think I hate, it's whoever's losing at the time. People then just think I hate them. So last year, I hated Florida State last year, or whatever, or I hate Florida because they're not any good. It's always these teams that aren't any good that people think that I hate them. There's a super chat. Let me look. Did I miss one? Oh, I see it. Yeah, sorry about that, Tim. Round table draft, Pete for the ACC, Baylor man for the Big 12, jackpot for the SEC, the sane Ohio State man for the Big Ten. Yeah, we could get Wayne on for the Big Ten. Yeah, he calls in a lot. Gator fans think Florida beats Georgia this year. Well, they think that every year. So this year's no different. Yeah, X-ray techs make good money. She doesn't know exactly what she wants to do yet. She has 2 semesters before she has to decide what specialty she wants to go into. She has 2 semesters before she has to decide that. So she hasn't made up her mind yet on X-ray tech or RN or some type of lab work. She hasn't decided yet. She doesn't have to decide until basically this time next year. She's doing 2 semesters of core classes, so she doesn't have to pick her specialty until this time next year. I ain't going in no nursing home. I'll die in the street before I die in a nursing home. That ain't happening. Halftime on the basketball game. I need the Clippers to win. LeBron versus MJ. MJ. I would have LeBron probably somewhere around top 5, maybe a little bit outside the top 5. I'm no basketball historian or basketball expert though, so I don't care enough to argue about it. But I'm not one of these people that thinks LeBron is terrible. I think he's definitely one of the best 10 of all time, close to top 5. Kobe over MJ? No, I'd have MJ, Kobe. It gets hard after that because you got to go back in time, with some of the older players. Yeah, I mean, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'd have Shaq in the top 10. Shaq was dominant for a 5 or a 6 year period. I mean, it was just almost not even fair to watch. Subscribe to Uncle Lou, and remember, this is a no trolling zone. Thank you, Nate. Yes, yes. Please always keep that in mind. This is, of course, 100% a no trolling zone. Absolutely no trolling under any circumstances. Yeah, no trolling. Stop mistreating. Yeah, mistreating me is never a good idea. Thank you, Bryce. That's a great public service announcement. Mistreating me is a huge no-no.
Stop mistreating Uncle Lou.
Yeah, see? Listen to that guy. Listen to that guy there. LeBron cooks MJ breakfast. Yeah, I've never understood that debate at all. It's not even something I have to think about. I don't even think if you did like a tier list and you put multiple players in each tier, I don't even think LeBron would be in the MJ tier. There might not be anybody in the MJ tier but MJ. He was a killer. He didn't give a fuck about anything but winning. Nothing. Not his coach, not his teammates, nothing. He only cared about winning. That's it. Michael Jordan's not even better than Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, you're definitely trolling. I don't think there's anybody, not even in my comment section, that's that stupid. And I've seen some of the stupidest people the human race has to offer in my comment section over the years, and none of them are even that stupid. None of them are that stupid to really think that. Bill Russell played in a league of lawyers. Oh, boy. LeBron James is nowhere near the best player in the league right now. I don't know what you've been watching, but he might not even be one of the best 10 players in the league right now. And I'm no LeBron hater. I think he's maybe top 5 of all time, definitely top 10 of all time. He's nowhere near one of the best 10 players in the NBA right now. I don't know if you just don't watch the NBA or what, but he's not a top 10 player right now. Vic made Lou's character get trolled into oblivion. Yeah, literally trolled into oblivion. Thank you, Nate. College football coaches fired this season. Well, if things go wrong, Billy Napier, Brent Venables, Mark Stoops, Lincoln Riley, Hugh Freeze. Now, all of those aren't going to be fired, but some of them could be. Dude on the Nuggets is the best player. Nikolai Jokic. Yeah, Luke Fickell. Did Did MJ ever play against a super team? When Jordan was playing, it was impossible to have a super team that didn't have Jordan on it. Like, so no. He was the super team. Missouri make the playoffs this year? No. Better chance they go 5-7 than there is that they make the play. They're not getting anywhere near the playoffs. They're terrible. They were terrible last year, and they were 9-3. They're going to be even worse this year. They were the worst. That's one of the worst 9-3 teams I've ever seen. Missouri last year. Florida should be in the top 25 at the end of the year. Florida should be in the top 25 every fucking year. But they're not, because they're dog shit and their coach doesn't know what he's doing. But, yeah, Florida should be in the top 25 every fucking year. (2015) UJ would have beat last year's Missouri team by 30. How many times has LeBron James won Defensive Player of the Year and led the league in steals? 0? Okay. Just checking. Georgia struggle bus again? What do you mean again? You mean they're going to win the SEC and make the playoffs again? I'll take that. I'll take that struggle every year. Who you got to make the finals? OKC and Cleveland. But I think the Cleveland-Boston series will be really good. I haven't watched any hockey playoffs, no. I only watched the NBA playoff games that I bet on. Speaking of that, the Clippers are up 67-62 over the Nuggets. 8:55 to go in the third quarter of that one. I imagine you'd like hockey more than the NBA. I don't mind hockey. I just don't watch a lot of it on TV. If you bet Thunder and under all season, you'd be richer than Sir UGA. If it's the Thunder, bet the under. Oh, man. When the Knicks won today, I bet on the Knicks too. So I hit the first game because I was on the Knicks and they won. So now I need the Clippers to win. Yeah, I just don't care anything about podcasts, especially from football players. Y'all still arguing about LeBron and MJ? Ewing was trash? Good God. Jesus. Yeah, somebody mentioned that earlier. UCLA versus Tennessee in a bowl game. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Oklahoma versus Southern Cal and Notre Dame versus LSU. Sign me up for those. I'd definitely watch those. Miami to the Pop-Tart Bowl? Hey, thanks, Blue. That's the whole goal, buddy. Thank you, man.
I say in my line, I did it 3 to 9. The D's ran up in my crib, you know who dropping down. You say you a gangster, but you never pop nothing. You say you a wankster, and you need to stop fronting.
I will be proposing to my girlfriend at a Braves game. What? Good luck, buddy. Good luck. She said yes. Well, then you definitely need some good luck. That was a good series, yeah. Thoughts? What, just in general? You just want me to give you some thoughts in general? Pepper jack cheese is the best kind of cheese. Waffle House is better than Huddle House. What other thoughts do I have? Some of my thoughts I can't repeat. I'm actually embarrassed of some of my thoughts, to be honest with you. What other thoughts do I have? I'm a pretty simple when it comes to beer. I don't like a lot of weird beers. So, you know, Bud Light, Coors Light, Michelob Light, whatever kind of light beer. The closest thing I like to a weird beer is probably Heineken. Next live is right now. Next live after now will be Saturday. Tool. Come on, Matt. Jordans are the best sneakers ever made. Well, I don't know about that. I've got two pair. They're fine. I have 2 pair of Jordan 1s. Blows. Saturday. The next live stream will be Saturday, and I'm sure there'll be NBA on. I don't like Corona. Lou wears Skechers. I don't have any Skechers. I don't think I've ever had a pair of Skechers. Chicken or pork? Man, I don't know. I like them both. I'd probably go with pork. I love a bone-in pork chop. Oh, dang. They playing all the hits now. Blonde or brunette? Both. At the same damn time.
Let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers, but do you still? You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers, but then rock with it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Don't drop with it. Do a step with it. Put your hips with it. All my ladies, let me see you put a twist with it. You can't do it like me, I'm by myself. I do it so good, I don't need nobody else. What's happening? What's up? Got that perk behind up. What's happening? What's up? Got Patron in my cup. I pop, I drink. I'm a Patron and perk, I can't think. I'm blown to go. Don't know how the hell I'm getting home. Hey, snap your fingers, but do you still? You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers, but do you still? You can do it.
All right. Y'all calm down. I don't have a favorite gun. If you ever want some comfortable shoes, get the New Balance 1080 V14s. Never had those either. Tennis shoes, I usually wear Jordans or Dunks. I've got a pair of Adidas Stan Smiths, the old school white ones, all white. You know, I've got a couple of pair of Converse. Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 pair of Dunks. I want a pair of On Clouds, but I've never had them before. But I see a lot of people wearing them. But I've never had a pair of On Clouds. I don't have no interest in no Brooks, but I would try the On Clouds. I wear Brooks for comfortability. I don't think I've ever even owned a pair, so I don't know. Would you ever wear Vans? I have a pair of Vans. Yeah, I have a pair of Vans. They're black suede, low top black suede, black and pink actually. I don't bet basketball games until the day of the game, so I have no idea which basketball games I'm betting on tomorrow. No clue. Basketball and baseball, I don't bet until the day of the game. Football is the only thing I bet early. You have Wolverine boots, round toe. The only boots, I've got a pair of Timberlands. Now I have some dress boots. Like I have a couple of pairs of like Chukka boots. But as far as what you're talking about, Timberland's closest thing I have to that. Are they going to play another banger? Yeah, Michael, I had a good time making that one. In the bathtub? Yeah. I have a pair of Hey Dudes. I don't like them. They're uncomfortable as shit, but I do have a pair of Hey Dudes. They're American flag Hey Dudes. I probably have 20 pair of shoes. I'm not exaggerating. Probably more. Yeah, Pete really likes the Hey Dudes too. I tried them, but to me they're just extremely uncomfortable. I mean, it's almost like you're being barefooted. You know, there's no cushion at all in those things. Wipe me down. Wipe me down. Funny prom or homecoming stories? Buddy, I'm 46 years old. I barely remember my prom. I never heard of wallabies. Skechers? I don't think I've ever had a pair of Skechers. Have you seen the plans for Augusta to renovate the downtown area? No, but I'll believe it when it actually happens. They can't agree on anything down there. They finally tore the Civic Center down, and they're building a new one of those, but it took them 20 years to agree to do that. Yeah, LSU Clemson would be a great game week 1. What is this shit? That's a terrible fucking song. Oh, here we go. No. Oh, here we go.
Sean P, aka Sean Cree, said it was necessary. These suckers out here very scary. They cuffing, they living in the month of February. Okay then, put a sister on display then. Kick in your door and have my folk to bring them K's in. I'm still addict, A-double-T-I-C. It ain't about that for real. Who don't know about me, but I'm for sure with it. Don't make me pop that trunk to the left, I will go get it. And I ain't selfish, I will let you in your feeling. Won't catch me sipping on no Chris and got a cold billing. It's Jean Blood's A-Town, mall liquor sipping. Coming straight from the gutter. Toe tag a mother, leave him under a cover. Lil John, he dropped the beat to make it bounce like rubber. Sean Paul told the heat to make it mugged in sluggy. Yeah! If you don't give a damn, gon' throw it up. Hey! If you don't give a damn, gon' throw it up. Hey! If you don't give a damn, gon' throw it up. Hey! If you don't give a damn, gon' throw it up. Don't start no stuff, must be no stuff. 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 What it is, yo? Oh, what's up? Can a player just keep in touch? Crank you up like you ain't been. Show us all how to really give it up. Well, give me your number, and I'll call, and I'll follow that thing in the mall. Take you home so we can do it all. While I'm being teared down, yo. This your boy, Mr. Funkadelic. What's the business, baby? I've been on you all day in the mall, Miss Lady. You looking good. I think I seen your in the hood with your friends dressed up, trying to front if you could. But anyway, go and drop a number or something so I can call you later on your phone or something. Take you home and maybe we can do something. There's no limits to what we do, cause tonight we gut busting. I'm digging in your something vicious. With your to the ceiling, catching something serious. You delirious. Or might I say you taste so delicious. With your pretty brown skin like almond joys and kisses. And you are certified doctor. #1 scholar that takes hits from the back and won't holler. Bend you over and I'll follow you straight to the room. Where it goes down lovely in the Legion of Doom. What it is, yo, or what's up? Can I play a chess, keep in touch? Crack you up like you ain't been. Show us all how to really give it up. Give me your number, and I'll call, and I'll follow that thing in the mall. Take you home so we can do it all. While I'm being teared down, yo. I told that thing, I mean. Hat lean, clothes smell like green. Ice and white tea, and white weed. I'm buy bread, real G, get G. Back to the street, back with Lil John. Back for the A, back reppin' for the slum. Put your hood up, show it where you from. And if they hate that, then get the job done. What we rhyme, big wheel, chopping hard, like beer, What we drink, that we draw. Keep the bottle popping all night long. What we smoke, red clear, presidential. Show a bush, how we do it like this, big crunk, big. 16, I'ma give it to you raw. Take it to you, slap you clean off the jaw. Now where they at? Who want some? See, I don't think y'all really want none. See, I'm back with a whole new clip with a bad chick on some brand new. Now put 'em up to the sky. Get fucked, get drunk, get high. Shake 'em off, you know what to do. Take it to the flow, haul out your whole crew. Like what? Look, if you boss, see, we still don't give a damn. And I never gave up to see 'em big timing. Wrist stay blinding with 4 or 5 freaks. Yeah, my pinky ring shining. I stay grinding and true to the streets. If you ever need to find it, you know where we can meet. What we ride, big wheel, chopping hard, like beer, What we drink, that we draw. Keep the bottle popping all night long. What we smoke, red clear, presidential. Show a bush, how we do it like this, big crunk, big. You can get crunk in the club, roll with your hood, get in the club, hey. Or you can get bucked in the club, in the club. We don't give up. But you want the problem. But you want the problem. But you want the problem. Me, we be real key. Hey, you don't wanna be in the streets, mouth full of blood and soul full of heat. Why you tryna act hard as hell and you know damn well you don't wanna feel this? Beat down by law, in my head pressed to the wall. I got big like baseball, split your dome piece straight, knock out all y'all. Hell no, them boys don't play straight to your face, put your away. I don't piece to my head and pray for the folks in the club that's scared. I call me dead. You can get caught in the club, roll with your hood, get in the club, hey. Or you can get bugged in the club, We don't give up. But you don't want the problem. But you don't want the problem.
Like we always do at this time, I go for mine, I got to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. Go for mine, I got to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. I'ma get on the TV, mama. I'ma push down. Hey. Welcome to the good life. With niggas that sell D's, won't even get pulled over in they new V. The good life, let's go on a living spree. They say the best things in life are free. The good life, it feel like Atlanta, it feel like LA, it feel like Miami, it feel like NY. Summertime shy. Now throw your hands up in the sky. So I roll through good. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood. Ferrari. And she got the goods, and she got that. I got to look sorry. Yo, it's got to be, cause I'm seasoned. Haters give me them salty looks. Lowry's 50 told me, go ahead, switch the style up. And if they hate, then let them hate and watch the money pile up. Like, I go for mine, I got to shine. Now throw your hands
in the sky. I'ma get on the TV, mama. I'ma push it down. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome, 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 welcome.
All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate y'all hanging out. I'll be back on Saturday. We'll see if there's some NBA playoff games on or something. We'll hang out, talk some football on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your week.
It's last year, hoes found with the passion. They mad, yeah, you can ride in the jag, yeah. With that, yeah, you can smoke a fire bag, yeah. A grass, yeah, got money, I can flash, yeah. And trash, yeah, I'm a big time a nigga, yeah. Pull the trigger, yeah. I play a hater flipper, yeah. Greg filler, yeah. I be slanging wood, yeah, out the hood, yeah. Let it be understood, yeah. It's all good, yeah. Got a nigga screaming large, yeah. On the hard, yeah. A smooth down broad, yeah. On the broad, yeah. Oh, you can do a trick, yeah. On the dick, yeah. You claiming you wanna fit, yeah. That ain't shit, yeah. The nigga with the money, yeah. Doing that money, yeah. Got birds and I'm running, yeah. About 100, yeah. Girl, you look good, won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker, won't you back that ass up? Call me Big Daddy when you back that ass up. Oh, who is you playing with? Back that ass up. Girl, you look good, won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker, won't you back that ass up? Call me Big Daddy when you back that ass up. Girl, who is you playing with? Back that ass up. Girl, you look good, won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker, won't you back that ass up? You got a stupid ass, yeah, make me laugh, yeah. Nigga wanna grab that, on the grab that. I'm sweating in the drawers, yeah, all log, yeah. Wanna walk it like a dog, yeah. Break your off, yeah. Get mine, you gon' get yours, yeah. That's for sure, yeah. You fucking with my nerves, yeah. To the curb, yeah.
You know, when they put knee pads on before they dance, you know you're about to see a show.
In this bitch, yeah. We be making hits, yeah. After hits, yeah. Them titties sitting nice, yeah. I wanna bite, yeah. I can fuck you right, yeah. All night, yeah. Wanna bring it to my house, yeah. On the couch, yeah. Knock a pussy out, yeah. Get them out, yeah. I wanna see these hoes, yeah. Bend it low, yeah. Let me run it in the oil, yeah. Make me know, yeah. Girl, you look good, won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker, won't you back that ass up? Call me Big Daddy when you back that ass up. Oh, who is you playing with? Back that ass up. Girl, you look good, won't you back that ass up? You's a fine motherfucker, won't you back that ass up? Call me Big Daddy when you back that ass up. Oh, who is you playing with? Back that ass up.
I know you can't stand it. Dick bandit, done landed. See your draws handed. You gon' get it, y'all. Gang spit it, y'all. Put the bitch on the wall, then I hit it, y'all. Looking kinda lonely. I'm feeling honey. Put the dick in the middle like Monet. Big dick plumber chick and a hummer chick. Beat the dick like a motherfucking drummer chick. See that, put it cat. Look at that. I love a fucking hoodie rat. That's a fact. You's a motherfucking get it, girl. Quit it, girl. I'm the nigga, the hit it, girl.